Steve, I think so. You're muted. Steve, you're. Yeah, well,
you're not coming through on the stream.
Okay.
How's that? Oh, there we go. Okay, so hey, let's try this again. Welcome everybody to the combined rum and coke caffeine corner. You know what's so funny? Haven't even started drinking yet. Still can't figure this shit out. You think after 7 years I'd get it right, but no. I asked the producer to come produce it, but no, he couldn't do it. So blame Bullinator.
They're still saying a deafening silence from you, but they can hear other people.
Oh no, they can hear me. I guarantee they can hear me now.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
They can hear me.
Yeah.
I can actually see it moving on my little meters here. But anyways, we're doing a combined rum and coke caffeine corner thing because it's Cheshire's 17th annual birthday. 17 plus 1 is 17 still. So we are going to be talking about all kinds of current things going on and I guess celebrating the big event. I'm just having a beer. Straight up, simple Budweiser.
Nice. Steve, I need to connect this to the math real
another
quick.
engagement in the afternoon. Shesh, what's your t-shirt?
Hang on one sec. Hang on one sec. Hang on. Dapper, what did you say?
Oh, so you know how you did the math stream, right? I have a way to connect this. So, okay, instead of having a 17th annual, starting this year, we add half a year to Cheshire's age, and then every subsequent year, we add half of what we added the previous year, which means we have a sum that converges on 18, but only after an infinite number of years, which means she gets to keep getting older, but she never gets to stop being 17.
But it's 17. It would be the 17 plus the summation of 1/2 plus 1/4 plus 1, basically 1 over 2
Right.
So so that would be a converging on 1. So 17 plus convergence of 1. Would it be actually be 18? But
she would never get there unless she
physically
lived
never
an
get
infinite
there.
amount of
But
time.
here's the thing on math, though. When you do the summation of an infinite sequence or infinite series, the convergence of the function is considered to be whatever the value that the Cauchy sequence actually.
But we don't ever actually have to sum it because we haven't reached enough amount of time to sum it.
But Dapper, we'd have Cheshire here. We shouldn't be doing math.
Okay,
we know how this. She has a 62 IQ. Okay.
63. I got.
Did you get bonus points somewhere? Wait, where'd you get bonus
I got a plus. Letty gave me a +1 because he added glasses to the goblin avatar.
Okay, well, you know what? If Letty does it, it's acceptable. It definitely is acceptable.
So 63. Thank you very much.
Wow, you might be able to chew gum and walk at the same time.
No, I can almost walk.
Yeah.
Can you rub your belly and pat your head?
Well, let's not make it too difficult for her. Hey, Brandon, welcome. What are you rubbing? Don't.
Hey, Steve, what's going on?
Stop that, Cheshire. Stop rubbing stuff.
I'm rubbing it, okay?
Oh, I know you. I know you want to rub
okay,
stuff, Brandon. I'm well aware of that.
How are you doing, Brandon?
Nothing. Just good.
Good.
All right, so we know Mania's not drinking because she has stuff to do tomorrow. And she has to be the responsible semi-adult that she is. Dapper's, I don't know when dinosaur years is of age to drink.
So at 150,072,000 as of last month, let me get that 72 tacked on there. So I am actually of age to drink, but I am out of booze and I don't go out more than once a week during this whole craziness. So I'm out until Monday, basically. So
I go out once every 2 weeks.
I'm actually thinking about getting 2 weeks worth of supplies this time and just not going out again.
I used to go every week, but I actually legit got like almost 3 weeks worth of supply. So
what about because you guys are in America, don't you guys have like decent grocery delivery services?
We do
normally.
Yeah, we do. I don't take advantage of it, but I've looked into it before. It's not a bad deal, but you know, I got to get out every so often, so I don't mind. And you know,
obviously.
Also, it's much more difficult to get liquor delivered for a reasonable price.
yeah, I get better deals by actually going shopping and saying, you know what, this is a good deal. Let me get this. And I'm more of a whatever's on sale, frugal kind of guy. You know, like I said, I'm drinking cheap Budweiser, man.
I get out almost every day of the week, mainly because my job requires me to.
Do you wear a mask?
Yeah, wear masks. We have hand sanitizer. We have to wash your hands every 30 minutes. And customers are supposed to wear a mask, but even if they're not, we still let them in, even though it increased the risk of getting people sick.
Yeah, most places that I've been to recently won't even let people in. They'll tell you straight up, you got to have a mask. So. But Moon, are you drinking anything today, Moon?
I'm not. No, I am having a Coca-Cola, a ribeye steak, and a loaded baked potato
That sounds
because
actually pretty good.
I treated myself to dinner tonight because I deserve it.
Nice.
So, yeah, but no, I mean,
L'Oreal dinner.
yeah.
All right, Brandon, are you drinking anything?
No, I'm not. I'm good.
This is the worst rum and coke night of all time. That's okay. It is actually caffeine corner, so you can drink a non-alcoholic beverage if you wish, which most people do anyways during rum and coke. But I know what you're drinking, Cheshire. You've got a vodka OJ, colloquially known as a screwdriver.
Yep.
Or vodka. Nice.
That's a nice combo.
Chesh, send me one of those.
To go and get out my wine, but I just can't. Dang it.
Somebody said the audio is going over each other. I don't see what.
Oh yeah, money for
I
you.
only have
It's
two
like,
audio inputs right now. I have the microphone and the desktop. So if they're talking over each other, it's over them.
oh, money. It's like what, Monday afternoon or something like that over there.
No, it's Sunday morning, 11 a.m.
Oh yeah, Sunday. I keep thinking today's Sunday because I can't keep track of days of the week anymore. Literally the only reason
that old, millions of years of old. Yeah, time is like doesn't matter.
When I was born, the year had a higher number of days and no one had weeks. So I mean,
Exactly.
there's been a lot of change.
I do like screwdrivers. That's actually one of my more preferred drinks.
It's a very breakfasty drink for me.
Yeah, I'll drink it for breakfast.
Very breakfast.
If I have to drink a drink for breakfast, it's going to be a screwdriver, a mimosa, which is orange juice, and champagne, which is really good.
Yeah.
Or a Bloody Mary that's not spicy. I don't like the Tabasco sauce, but just a regular Bloody Mary without that is delicious. Especially if you got an olive and a bacon wrap.
What is a Bloody Mary without spice? Holy crap!
Better.
It's just
I say.
A virgin Bloody Mary.
Well, it's not virgin. I mean, you can have alcohol in it, right? But you just don't have that heat to it.
look, I need to have a fairly high spice content. If I'm making a Bloody Mary, like I go get my 400,000 Scoville unit hot sauce and put a couple dashes of that in there.
Yeah,
That's like ghost
I like
pepper.
it hot. I like it hot, and I like it with like a jalapeno with bacon wrapped around it.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
There you
I'll
go.
eat the jalapeno or in bacon, and where I go, they make a really good one with shrimp wrapped with bacon, with asparagus and a pearl onion, a little bit of hot sauce, not much. I tell them to spice it a little bit, but yeah, it's delicious. But those kind of drinks are the cost of a meal, man. I mean, they're like they're no joke. They're
basically
that
are a
big.
meal. See, think about what you just described for the quote-unquote garnishes. You got asparagus, a pearl onion, a jalapeno, a slice of bacon, and then you're tossing in vodka, a whole thing of tomato juice, and some Tabasco. That is a meal.
That's a breakfast of champions right there.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, what's that going to be like 1,000 calories at least?
That probably is. Yeah, it's so funny because I do watch my calories, and I'm trying to get about 1,800 a day, 1,500 to 1,800 a day. Not succeeding very well because it's so hard. I'm telling you, everything you eat has a high caloric value to it. Basically, I mean, I had like green beans, which is like 50 calories per serving. A bag is 5 servings, so the most you're going to have is like 250 calories, which doesn't sound like much. But once I add olive oil and a little bit of butter and a little bit of Parmesan cheese, a little bit of cheddar cheese, and you're up to like 400 or 500 calories right there for a meal. Which is,
once you make it edible.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, vegan Coral, but I don't mind the vegetarian stuff, but I got to make it taste good.
Just use vegan cheese.
Yeah, well, she says that vegan cheese is really good. What is it? What did she say? That was it wasn't like peanut cheese. It was some nut cheese or something. She said it was really good. So one of these days
I don't want to know.
Not from
So
under.
I figured out where the echo. I figured out where the echo is coming from. It's coming from me because for whatever reason, it's feeding the desktop audio through my meats, and I don't know how to fix it.
I only have one input. That's the desktop audio, so it's all coming in through one thing. So it's definitely on your
Yeah,
computer.
it's coming from me. So for whatever reason that I'm not sure why, when you guys are talking, it's playing from me that you guys are talking.
Hey, where's Dick Dawson when you need him? He'll be able to figure it out. Somebody said cashew cheese. It could have been, maybe it was cashew cheese. I don't remember. She actually tagged the place that made it on Twitter, and they responded, "Thank you." So I don't know.
Oh, vegan?
Yeah, vegan had said this place makes this vegan cheese that's to die for, and she tagged them, and they said they appreciated it. But I really don't remember the name of the cheese. So not smegma cheese.
Yeah, that was one thing I wanted to ask her right before my phone died that night. I understand she wants to turn it that way, and ideally that is something to look for, but you literally have to turn the economy upside down entirely, and you also have to fix the seeing generations to really conform to it as well. So
Well, yeah, I mean, there's you could spend days discussing the pros and cons of veganism and stuff like that. However, there was actually a topic today that Chesh and I were involved with that maybe Chesh wants to talk about for her birthday, dealing with the legalities and ethical considerations of porn. Yeah, that actually was a topic today. SJ had, I guess we're going to do a little bit of review of what gone for the last couple weeks, but SJ had put a tweet out asking if porn should be made illegal, I think was what she was asking, wasn't it?
No.
I think so.
Yeah, that is what she asked.
Yeah.
And then she said like theist, non-theist, yes or no. So there are 4 options.
Macabre says
Oh,
Fidar. Real quick, Macabre Fidar says vegan cheese. I think we've just discovered a reasonable use for genocide. Yeah, I don't know if there's such a thing as vegan cheese. I mean, they call it that, but to me, cheese, to call something cheese has to have some fundamental things to it. One of which is milk. Some kind of a bacterial culture of some sort, but yeah.
Oh, did you hear about the recent thing with the FDA and how they're trying to crack down on nut milks and trying to get them to stop calling themselves milks because they don't meet the legal definition for milk?
Yeah, well, like I said, milk is milk. Manya, $100 New Zealand. Damn girl, birthday present for Chesh. Happy birthday!
Manya.
And yes, all super chats are being
you.
split with Chesh. This is like we normally do for Caffeine Corner. The only one's not being paid tonight is Bull because he's not here. You know, he's invited.
Get wrecked, bull.
Thank you, Manya. So Manya, you have to be able to tell Chesh what you when I. By the way, I usually pay her the same day, or at least I have a spreadsheet, so we figure out what I'm due her. But I get the money to her. But what does she need to buy? You got to tell her what kind of drink to buy, because you got to use it's rum and coke, so you've got to use a little bit of this money to buy alcohol. Is that fair, Chesh? Chesh? Now you're muted. She's muted completely. She went from echo to silence.
Can you hear me now?
This is like the perfect woman. You can be seen but not heard, right? I didn't say that.
I'm just trying to fix. I'm trying to fix the audio so you guys aren't getting some kind of echo from me, and I have no idea why that's
I don't
happening.
hear an echo from you, to be honest.
It's okay.
I hear a
So
lot
if
of background noise.
I hear background noise. But that's like the fan. She did turn off her noise.
I don't have a fan going anymore.
Well, there's another one back there, but I don't think that's making the noise or not.
It sounded like an
the
airplane or a
ceiling fan?
car just drove by. There's a little bit of a hum, like a.
That hum is like my family's leaving. That's the garage door. That'll
gotcha.
stop in a second.
Yeah, it's not that bad now. What we're saying,
but-
we're saying Cheshire is Manya has to be able to tell you that you got to spend a little bit of that money on alcohol because it's rum and coke night. So
Okay.
so
That's fair.
Manya, what kind of alcohol should she get for that?
She told me once about this really strong drink that you drink, like, and you have like lemon slices along with that. Like, if you really want to drink some, that was like the first time when we started.
Not one of those
talking about
Canadian weird drinks, right? No, not like one of those like
really
yeah,
strong
like
ones.
like
I don't remember
like what do they
the
call it?
name.
Saskatchewan Scud Missile or something. I don't know.
Are you talking about like Newfie Screech?
Yeah, something like that. Like, if you really want, like, they come in little shots, and you said you drink that, and then you go for a lemon slice at the same time, and then yeah, that's like, if you really.
Hi, Mom.
Hi.
Here's me.
Hi, Mom, got one.
Hello, fantastic.
Here we are. Happy birthday. Thanks.
Aw.
You're standing awfully close to me right now. Oh, right.
Yeah, so actually when Landon joined, the sound quality got better, so that's weird. But hi, Landon.
Good morning, good afternoon, good
Landon.
evening, depending on your time zone and latitude.
Did you
And,
bring alcohol?
I have alcohol. So I guess the question for you is, what kind of alcohol should I have? Should I go for a wine?
I'm
Should I
drinking beer
go
tonight,
for a
dude.
Cocktail, wine, or cocktail, or a drink? Hello.
Do you still have that grappa?
Yes, I do.
That's my vote.
Well,
Well, hold on, Landon. What were your options?
So I have some wine. I can go for a Merlot or another wine that's pretty good. I have two cocktails made by the La Fiesta people in the fridge. I have whiskey. I have rum. I have grappa, and I also have.
What kind of rum is it?
It's a Bacardi 8-year.
what do you mix it with?
So,
He's got a
Well,
little coke.
I used to do rum and coke, but I don't have the. I got rid of my small little coke things.
Do you have any little ginger ales?
Have any what?
Little ginger ales.
No, I have no sodas at all. I'm sorry. So
well,
the grappa, I have really two fine grappas as well. I've heard of vote for grappa.
well,
Yeah,
since it's
Go for it.
well, since it's Chesh's birthday, which do you think would fit the occasion?
What?
I think she's classy enough to go for grappa.
Okay. Ooh.
I like that.
Breaking out the good stuff.
I would go for beer if
Class-
you're basing it on Cheshire.
Classy enough. Have you seen what she's wearing on her head on the end of the rest of her body?
I think that particularly with the ears that flop up, that's like physical emojis.
Yeah.
She squeezes down there and something pops up. That's weird.
I like how these hang right at my boobs too.
So question, is that purely mechanical?
Yeah, it's got air. It's got like little air
So it's
things in it,
pneumatic.
and it's got, and
Yeah.
it's got like a little air tube, and the air, you squish the air up, and it lifts them up.
The Acorn says, I'm having nicotine cravings, Steve. Only 3 days off so far. Give me your energy. All this booze talk, making them flare up again. Dude, I got to tell you, I quit smoking, what is it, in 5 years? I think it was December 2015. So it's going on 5 years, 4.5 years. And I got to tell you, it was one of the hardest things I ever had to do. I did get very sick. I got smoker's flu. But after I quit, the thought of alcohol didn't even make me want to smoke, which was really odd. Because most of the time when I smoked, I was drinking if I wasn't, at work or something like that. But, if I'm at the bar, I'm drinking, I'm having smokes. And so I really thought it would be a trigger for me. But alcohol literally was never a trigger for me to start smoking again. Matter of fact, I don't think I really have any cravings after maybe the first couple months. They were just gone. Macabre for $5 says, another $5. Because Landon, if Landon and Mr. T were in the same room, pretty sure it would explode. No single room can contain that much awesome. Mr. T, isn't that going back a few years? Is Mr. T still awesome?
I've never had the honor to meet Mr. T. I think he might have died. I don't know. Is he still
He's
alive?
not dead.
I don't think he's dead.
I feel like I would have heard about it if he died.
Yeah.
Have you seen his reality TV where he shows up and teaches people how to parent?
No.
You've never seen that? I wish.
And by the way, we're talking about the original Mr. T with the
Yes.
gold
practice,
chains. We're not
yeah.
we're talking about the other Mr. T.
Walk, yeah.
You're talking about B.A. Brackus.
Yay, Baracus.
Boy of Ink.
Bad attitude.
Boy of Ink, 20 euros. Happy 17th birthday, Chesh. Nice stilly hat. Here's some funds for Captain Morgan's Black Spiced. So it's so soft you can drink it raw. Yeah, I have had Captain Morgan's spice rum, not black, but that sounds really good.
Spice.
Yeah.
It's got a very caramel. I would go beige.
Okay, go the beige.
I
Okay,
really
that's
like
actually a
Admiral
better.
Nelson
That's a
spice
better.
rum. Have
by the
you guys ever tried Admiral Nelson spice rum? It's got a nice hint of vanilla flavor. It's really inexpensive for a big thing. If you like Captain Morgan's, but you don't want to spend a lot of money because that's name brand, try Admiral Nelson. It tastes very, very similar. It's just a lot more vanilla flavor, but it's really good.
It goes
You
well with
guys-
pina coladas as well.
Are not ready for this. I Pity the Fool TV series. 2006 American reality television series starring Mr. T originally aired on TV Land. The premise is the series features Mr. T traveling from town to town, giving advice, solving problems, and teaching individuals some basic life rules. He mainly gives advice about playing fair and maintaining a good team spirit. The name of the show comes from Mr. T's catchphrase from Rocky III, where he played the character James Clubber Lang. The show only lasted 6 episodes.
It's actually more than I thought it would probably last.
That's
So-
the best ever.
So, Chesh,
Oh, sorry.
here's a tea. I'm using this with the Mickey Mouse glass, so
With the
nice.
magic
very
eye.
fine grappa.
Yes.
Cheers.
And is today your actual birthday, or is it just near?
Yes, it is actually today.
Oh, so happy birthday to you.
Dun, dun, dun.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Cheshire.
Happy birthday to
you.
Thanks, God.
God, we suck. I don't sing. I don't sing.
Thanks.
Cheshire, if only you had a show where you watched ridiculous things and made comments on them, because then you could watch some of I Pity the Fool and make
Isn't that kind of
comments
like
on
Mystery
it.
Science Theater 3000?
Rachel,
I
what's
think
going
somebody
on?
in the
Are you
chat-
drunk or something? Hey, what's
I think somebody in the chat is mad at us.
What did we do?
Live chat's always mad at us. That's part of the whole fun.
No, but see, the joke is that we do have an intermittent. Cheshire and I
Okay.
and a few other people do have a Mystery Science Theater 3000 show. We do our own one like that. We did what was it? Planet 9 from Outer Space most recently.
Yep.
Yep. So
Well, Dapper, it's also because it's YouTube and people get mad at everything.
well, yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't really care if people are mad at us.
I am Moon, $20. Happy birthday, Chess. Yep, 20 American. You can retire now. That's
Speaking of alcohol,
hey,
I gotta go get
the
more. Be
American
right back.
American dollar is pretty
I'm
decent.
rich.
Yeah,
Thank you, Moon.
of
I'm
course.
Canadian rich.
Rez says, "I hate you, Steve, but I love you, but hate you." That's like the perfect thing, though, Rez. I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, love, hate. They're not much different from each other. They're kind of like the flip side of the same coin. You know. I think very strongly that love and hate probably do elicit a lot of the same reactions chemically in the brain. You know?
They seem to.
Yeah.
You want me to pull up SJ's thing, or that other one? That that dude was bizarre person. I don't know if they're a boy or girl. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
P bands for 10
The one
Australian.
about porn.
Yeah, bring up that one. P bands for $10
Okay.
Australian. Happy birthday, Chess. They are Aussie dollars, so they are practically worthless, but it's the thought that counts, right? Aw.
Dollar dues are not non-zero. They're worth dollar dues are worth more than Zimbabwean dollars.
But that's not saying much. How many times has that currency been revalued by lopping off 7 or 8 zeros?
Well, in 2005, I bought a newspaper at a bottle of orange, a little thing of orange juice with a $2 bill, and I received in change $100 trillion Zimbabwean note and a few other things.
I gave them $1 in American, and I got enough back in Zimbabwe to retire for the next 20 years.
So I remember, I think it was 2006 or 7. The Treasury Minister of Zimbabwe came out and said that they were going to stop calculating the annual inflation rate because it had surpassed the ability of computers to calculate effectively in real time.
It was about 17 million% when the year I was there.
17
God
million
dang.
%. That's almost as much as inflation for college in America.
Yeah.
Almost. You're missing
Yeah.
0.5.
But the 100 trillion was the highest domination note that they had issued, and then they deleted their currency.
Got PayPal here for $20. Share this 50-50 with the 17-year-old Chesh. Greetings from Croatia. Will do.
Oh,
That's from
thanks.
That's from Tom, who uses PayPal.
Oh, thank
which
you,
is fine.
Tom.
Nice.
Yeah, by the way, Atlanta, I did send you an invite. I didn't think you could make it, but I did do a math hangout this morning, and I didn't realize that for Mania's time, she was probably dead asleep, because I did it really early my time, which had to been like probably, I don't know, like 4 a.m., 3 a.m.
5 a.m. on a Sunday. Really.
Yeah, I didn't really think about it, so I apologize, but I did send you an invite.
I apologize because I would have, if I had known, because I was out listening, watching Comet Neilwise.
Yeah, I went out, but there's too many clouds, and it wasn't visible.
We had another thing, and again, it was as Dee said. Once you locate it by binoculars, it becomes dead obvious.
I'm gonna wait till I can see it at night, and it'll be better here. But Amanda, did you watch the hangout on math?
In the morning, this morning, the algebra one.
Yeah.
I watched some of it after the live stream ended because I woke up around 7 and then not 7, sorry, 8, and I saw that you just like signed off, and I was like, damn it, I missed it.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
But,
I mean, it was you know, I don't know. Like I said, a lot of review for me too, but I like doing those
no,
things.
but I will definitely finish it. I'll finish it tonight. And yeah, I look forward to more of those actually.
You know,
I'm sorry I missed
fine.
it. I mean, had I not been up at 3 a.m. to do the comment thing, I would have.
Well, I'm gonna be doing more like that too, because again, they're not videos that get a lot of views. They're not for any kind of profit or anything like that. I just enjoy doing them, and a few people have said they've gotten something out of it, and that's all that matters to me.
Yeah, I really enjoy those videos. And because it's all in one place, and you have a source where you can go and refresh your memory. Because you're not in the uni anymore and you don't get to practice your math and algebra that much. So yeah.
I want to do on Matrix.
What did you work on?
Well, it's funny because it said college algebra practice exams, but I haven't really. I mean, I took college algebra, and that was way easier than college algebra. I would say it probably some of the stuff I learned in like 7th grade, but I would have to say it's probably junior high level math.
Okay.
So it wasn't complicated, but I mean, it's still, if it's one of those things, even with simple math, if you don't use a lot of these things, people are not going to, like if I said, hey, how do you distribute, exponentiation over multiplication? Probably most people aren't going to figure it out. And
it's practice.
Yeah, it's practice.
With math, it's practice.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised to see that in like my college algebra 1 class week 1, which is like, hey guys, remember high school? No? Okay, well, we're going to go over that real quick.
Yeah, they tend to do that.
Yeah, that's what I was telling Steve he should do if he was going to do these videos, that he should do like here's the starting point of what you should be expected to know in high school. Because like a lot of stuff they actually don't cover.
Yeah. Well, I thought about doing that with exponents, like literally go over the rules of exponentiation, going over negative exponents, going over fractional exponents. I think that'd be kind of interesting. Yep.
Wait, is 10 to the negative 17th a positive or a negative
Depends
number?
if you're a flat earther or not. If you're a flat earther, then 10 to the negative 17th would be a negative number. But if you're not a flat earther, then no. So it really makes a difference on your
if your logic is non-Euclidean, that's what you're saying. If you have a non-Euclidean logic, then everything curves around on you, and you go in circular reasoning.
But I'm not as well studied as these flat earthers, so don't.
We all know that flat earthers can't recognize negative exponents. Just remember JM Truth.
Well, I think he was the one that actually said that 10 to the negative 17th was a negative number, wasn't it, Dapper?
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he said, and he gave some reason, like it was negative 17 10 times.
Oh dear.
And negative exponents is the person who managed to troll the hell out of JM with that 20 seconds.
Yes.
Yes. That was great. And
we're now in an A-list thing. The God's Auditor, one of the best winemakers in this group, is
Hi.
Hi, happy birthday.
Hey, God's Auditor.
That's happening, everybody.
Yo.
Oh, someone wants you to go over PEMDAS. See if
Go over PEMDAS for these days?
Yeah. I don't think it has to be a live stream, but it could just be a quick thing that you upload.
Well, I like doing the live streams, but I mean, I could easily do one on PEMDAS and order operations. I just don't know how long it would be. I could do that in like 5 minutes.
Quick one, right? It doesn't need to be more than 5 minutes long. Rez just said, I don't think I realized just how big of a D&D nerd you were until just now when I saw your wish list. There's so many D&D books on it. The only one on it right now is Teldore.
I went to go look at her wish list about a month ago to send her just a little thing, and it was all D&D. I was like,
and onesies. It's got a bunch of onesies because
I always remember I was saying
onesies.
She was wanting onesies.
Yeah.
So wait.
That was my idea. Just chat found out that I didn't own a onesie, and they were like, "Okay, listen."
Oh, heck yeah. So, Chesh, is there or is there not actually stuff in the works to make concrete steps towards a D&D campaign?
Yeah, so Dapper and I are working on world building right now. And we have set up on this upcoming Wednesday a hangout time that'll just be us hanging out so we can actually finish building, hopefully finish, or at least get close to getting the world put together. And we're talking about actually running more than one session because there's like a lot of people who want to play. And so that way one person doesn't get burnt out from DMing all the time. So we're going to like rotate 1 month at a time or rotate alternating weeks. So he's going to DM and I'm going to DM, and we'll put both of them on the same channels. So you guys have regular D&D content, but you'll get different groups and you can kind of pick and choose what DMing style you like more, what characters you enjoy, and you can kind of finagle from there.
Landon make a killer DM.
Landon.
He'd be one of those DMs that, like, whoever you did, you'd automatically kind of fail all your saving throws so he could kill your character off.
Yeah, I feel like he'd be heartless.
I feel like Landon would be the kind of person who's like, well, this rule set insufficiently captures the nuances of physics, so let me make something where you can't play this role-playing game unless you have a degree, or unless you have like at least Calc 2. But once we have all that set up, it'll be extremely realistic. Landon would lose it if you saw the D&D fall rules.
You know you're an evil DM. What is it? The Deck of Many Wonders. When you pull the Void
Deck
card.
of Many Things.
Yeah, Deck of Many Things, and you pull the Void card. You know, and you get to destroy your character. You know, the DM gets to like destroy your character and lets laughs go. That's the
So I actually did something where so I actually have a relatively high TPK count, which isn't good. Like, you're not supposed to have that as a DM, but it's not my fault. In my defense, one of the sessions I ran was legitimately just a one shot because I ran it for somebody's birthday, and what they wanted was, I just want to play a campaign because I haven't played D&D in a long time. I just want to run a session where everybody dies at the end. So I legitimately just did Rocks Fell, Party Died, because they were fighting amongst themselves. It was PvP, and I had one of them get pushed back and slapped into this tower that was already kind of wobbly, and it just fell on them and killed them all.
I like the situation that all the party is instantly wiped and you're done.
Yeah. So Chef,
the red wedding style.
So you were born today. Do you know the hour and the time zone you were born in?
Are you gonna do an astrology chart on her?
No. Do you stay? Because I stay up to the moment that I was born and have like a countdown. And in fact, there's a lot of computers out on the internet that run cron jobs at my moment of birth because I don't want them to run all in an hour because everyone runs at the top of the day and the top of the hour, so it's offset by. So
I was born noon on Wednesday, July 11th, 1990.
Okay, but noon on Wednesday.
That doesn't add up. That's not 17 years ago.
1990, June 11th, noon. But noon, what time?
Sorry, July 11th.
July 11th, what time?
Oh shit, you're 30.
EST.
Well, she doesn't go by human
dirty
years.
30.
Yeah, she doesn't go by human years.
Wait a minute. It'll be EDT.
Oh, EDT. Sorry, yeah. Time.
EDT. So it means that you were Pacific time. Your birth moment has passed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you realize that there's a 50-hour time span of when there's July 11th in some spot on the earth, right? You should do you've got plenty of birthday time where there's at least some point on Earth where it's July 11th.
Are you suggesting I do a 50-hour live stream for my birthday?
Yes.
You have a 50-hour celebration. Now, you don't have to be comfortable with that.
So Landon.
All right, we'll
You
plan
got
on
49 and a half at this point. You've only
So-
been on for half an hour.
So Landon, if there was an alien civilization that was 30 light years distance from us that had a power infrared telescope, they can actually right now be witnessing Cheshire's birth.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. Assuming it was optically visible, right? Did you allow the photons to get out of the birthing site?
Assuming she was
Yeah,
born
especially-
outside on a rock or something.
Maybe inside of a greenhouse.
Her parents were hippies. They were
By the way,
like, dude, they did
was
it in
there a
some
man
lake,
roll?
you know.
The reason why it's 50 hours, anyone's birthday, there's 50 hours of time, is that you have a time zone which is UTC plus 14 hours, and you have a time zone which is UTC minus 12. So you have the 24 hours of your day plus 14 hours plus 12 hours. That ends up 50 hours of birthday time. Where there's some place on Earth that's going to be for 50 hours. That's going to be July 11th. You could say it's my birthday someplace.
Okay, so at what time in my time zone, if I were to do a 50-hour stream that actually took up that 50 hours, what time would I have to start?
Well, you would want to start in the case of, and let's assuming you're talking about, you would have to start in the case of UTC minus 12 is where it'll start. So we're UTC minus 7, so you'd have to start 5 hours before midnight this morning.
Okay.
Right, this midnight, 5 hours before then, to all the way through our July 11th, and then go another 14 hours beyond that. So 12, so 5 would be basically, it's because we're 7 hours behind UTC. So you go 5 hours back, and then in our day, you get another. See, the end of the day, you have another 7 hours to UTC and another 12 hours beyond that. So.
Got it. Okay, so it's all right. So I'll have to plan this for next year then. We
So
will.
7 p.m. on the 10th.
You look at Greenwich and you say, when 12 hours before Greenwich gets to your birthday is when you start, and you go to 12 hours after the end of your birthday at Greenwich, another 14 hours beyond that. That's your 50-hour time frame.
So
So you could have basically people buying your birthday gifts because it's still your birthday someplace.
I think Landon's trying to kill me.
Basically.
This is how I'm celebrating my birthday from now on.
I think that would be, if you want to do that next year, Chesh, I believe that will be 7 p.m. on July 10th until noon, July 12th, your time.
Yeah. Yes.
So feel free.
So it would be starting on, because next year it should be starting on Saturday into Monday. So I would have to legitimately do Caffeine Corner after being awake.
Yeah. Now,
Well,
now
wait,
you could,
if your
My
birthday's on a
birthday would
Saturday
end,
anyways,
2 hours later, it would be Caffeine Corner.
if your birthday's on a Saturday anyways, wouldn't you be just powering through the entire weekend to begin with?
It would be, but it won't be a Saturday next year.
I've done 24-hour streams before.
That's right.
It was back in the day where you could do 8 hours at a time.
Yeah, but
And
50?
Well, yeah, no,
So-
24 I was done. I'm telling you, 3 8-hour
I
streams
did
in a row.
24 when I was on
So-
Twitch, I did 24 hours. I played Kingdom Hearts for 24 hours straight.
excellent. So one thing, Jesse, you might want to do is to have it centered around noon Eastern, right? That's the pinnacle. That's your birth moment. So it would mean you'd have a 9 a.m. Countdown to 9 a.m. Pacific, where you'd have your, like a New Year's count, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, yay!
Yay!
And you can do, time from that spot would be another spot to do.
So it would be like a workup, and then now we get to start drinking, and then
Yes.
Hey, Chesh, I love you so much. You're one of my favorite people on the planet. I'm so glad.
But there's a butt coming on.
The butt is my dog decided to chase my cat and knocked over all of my laptops and the trash in the process. So I need to hop out of here and do a cleanup now because Pepper decided that chasing the cat was more important than my electronic equipment. So
give the animal some boops for me.
I will, but I love you. You know that. Big heart.
Thank you, Moon.
See you later.
Bye.
Thanks for coming.
Enjoy.
Let them on.
I unmuted too late. I'll say bye to her on Twitter. Or
Just say bye to her now.
She's gone. I forgot to unmute.
It's okay. There's a delay.
That's a good point. But do you think she's actually watching with the audio though? Yeah, she probably has it muted.
I just looked at the clock, and we're almost at 400 days.
Yeah, no, I know. I was going to do a 365 stream celebrating the 1 year, but I was unfortunately a false copyright strike, and I couldn't stream for a month. And yes, by the way, it was a false DMCA. 4 of them. There's no question about it. It's not even up for debate. They were false. They were fraudulent.
Naughty.
Yeah. So.
Don't
if you claim
you have to sign under penalty of perjury.
Oh yeah, no, it was. I mean, we're hoping that there are some perjury charges. I mean, we're definitely hoping. Now, the thing with perjury is that we can't file for that. That's something that the judge or the court system has to do through the DA. Now, I've talked to people that said they're going to get the ball rolling with the DA, but unfortunately, because of world conditions,
there's so much going on. Yeah.
But I will give a tidbit out, Landon, because I'll give a little morsel. Do you guys want a little bit of morsel? I'm not going to give too much information because it's going to be public anyways. I'm not going to give details, Chess knows. I'm not going to give details, but I will say this.
It's just like, I'm on your ass right now. You better
expect another filing soon.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh my.
Ooh.
All right, so
there'll be some movement.
I think we should get everybody's opinions on the panel and then actually look at what was actually being said in that Twitter thread. So the question was, should online porn be outlawed in the US? ? Is anybody in here a theist?
Steve
is. Marginally.
Okay, so we got...
I don't answer that question.
2. Okay, so the 2 theists, yes or no?
Hell no.
No,
I don't want to be a criminal.
No, wait. Watching does not make you a criminal. She's saying making. Oh wait, you might do that too. So I'm not judging. Not judging, God. Not judging.
I guess online porn could include making and watching both,
or downloading or uploading.
Well, I would assume that if it's illegal to broadcast, it would be illegal to watch. But then again, I'm not that smart on that kind of situation.
It's not, the question isn't that specific.
Let's just assume it'll be like
flat
war on
no.
drugs. Yeah.
Flat no. Should it be illegal? No.
And there's another theist that was here that said.
Yes.
Right. I think the question is, what is the end goal of pornography? Like, is it for the betterment of humanity?
Arguably so.
Well, the question is does that really matter?
No.
What the goal of porn is, if you're going to make it legal or illegal? You don't tend to base whether or not something is legal about what the goal of it is.
Maybe are you trying to say whether it's harmful or not, or are you going in that direction?
Yeah, basically.
Well, the first thing you have to ask yourself is this:
be harmful? Would it?
First, you have to look at it this way, and this is what I said to the person who was arguing that it should be illegal. Right now, it is not, and the Constitution is the reason why. And this person asked, well, where does it explicitly state that in the Constitution? The Constitution doesn't enumerate every single thing. It has the Bill of Rights, which is the first 10 amendments, and then there's other amendments afterwards. But these things are interpreted by the Supreme Court. And when it comes to certain freedoms and certain liberties and certain rights, these are unalienable that are given to us. And to people that have consenting adults that want to film it and make their encounters public is legal, period. There's no question about that.
I mean, part of what Steve is saying is the Supreme Court has stated that the government does not have the power under the First Amendment to prohibit pornography. They can regulate it. And so, for example, in cities like our city, they told us we could not, for example, make it illegal to have a adult bookstore, but we could regulate where the adult bookstore is. However, you can't sit there and say adult bookstores can only exist in the city if they're at a altitude of 900,000 meters.
Yeah, not only can you regulate it, you can. There are still obscenity laws on local ordinances, and these obscenity laws are not considered a violation of freedom of expression and freedom of speech, the way they're written. When there's certain types of pornography that's considered to be so debased that it's not considered to be
Yeah.
you know.
So the courts have said, the Supreme Court has said you don't have an absolute right to pornography, but the government cannot, because of the First Amendment, prohibit pornography. The problem, of course, is what is pornography as well.
You know it when you see it.
And that was stated in a dissent. But that being said, the question becomes, so you say making online pornography illegal. I don't know what that means. I don't know how you would.
Well, in other words, they would say you can't view it in the United States. Like certain other countries have stuff blocked, right? China has very regulated.
But there's also pornography that's not that visual. There's audio.
Okay, but
it's written.
True. It means like sans the Constitution. Like if the Constitution was not in the way, they're thinking. I think of a more moral standing. Rather
well, that's what they're trying to do. Sure, they're making a moral issue. Yes.
Yeah. So the question. Well, then you have to ask the question: is porn a moral question? No. I would say
people
no.
People make it a moral question.
Right, but this is what I told Chesh prior to when we went live. There's something called descriptive moral relativism, which basically does exist. What basically that means is there's just different cultures that hold different things to be morally inappropriate, like showing ankles. Right, but there's no deontological fact of the matter to be had to say, hey, you know what? It is forbidden to show ankles. It's just a cultural thing, and cultures differ when it comes to moral relativism. That's a fact. That's so that doesn't make it some kind of moral absolute, right? That doesn't say, look, in this culture they don't show ankles, therefore the whole world shouldn't be able to show ankles. There's no moral argument to be extrapolated from that. And I think the same thing is with pornography. There's no moral argument to be extrapolated just because some cultures find it inappropriate for their own culture.
Yeah. In the end, for me, it's like, is it harmful or not? In what way? And can we regulate,
I can answer that.
To reduce like exploitation and stuff, right? So to reduce exploitation.
Do you know what makes pornography do you know, Mani, what makes pornography dangerous? Have you tried doing some of those things?
By trying
at my age, you end up breaking something. That's what makes it dangerous.
Oftentimes, the issues around pornography harm have to do with religious discussions and commentary on pornography.
Right? Most of the times, yes.
It is.
You might get STDs, or talk, like, let's have that talk, and
trying to prohibition is more of a problem.
The gymnastics sometimes suggested in those videos. No, please.
Stretch. Make sure you stretch before you start.
People try to say that pornography is a gateway to other things, and I leave that up to the academics and research. But I have to say that one of the problems that people have with pornography come from religious context. Religion is actually the problem, not pornography itself.
Yeah, no, and I'm not.
Now you can argue, is that important? I'm not saying for religious people they would say yes, but the religious-based objection to pornography get turned into objections for pornography all too often.
You're saying that the religion part of it is what is making it a moral discussion when it's not necessarily
but
to
as
be
we
the case.
Pointed out to this gentleman, and this is something people can go look up, Christians are one of the largest groups of people that actually watch porn. I mean, it's just statistically that's a fact.
Well, the first comment this person made was, what makes you think porn is consensual?
Yeah,
so
that's what they asked me.
View of what porn is like really
can you read what I responded? Because I pretty much gave him the zinger.
I did want to hear what Steve had to say because he was going to say something.
Sorry.
Well, just as to answering the question, should pornography be illegal? Landon and Steve both answered my question. They answered the question for me. It's not prohibitive, but it can be regulated.
So you think that it should be regulated, but not necessarily outlawed via the question?
Well, it can't be outlawed by definition to the Constitution, but it can be regulated in some sense.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So Steve,
and I think there's probably very few people that would say that would advocate for complete unfringed, unfettered pornography. I mean, unless you suffer from the libertarian disease, you probably think that there are some regulation needed to put on pornography. As an example, you might sit there and say an employer might say that people cannot, in their employment workplace, act out pornography, and they can't distribute pornography to their customers and so forth. They might, unless of course they're a porn industry. So there are regulations that can be placed on
Right,
pornography.
there's nothing wrong with having
done
regulation
socially.
of things. I mean, even legal things. Cigarettes are legal, but they're still regulated.
But I
Alcohol,
think Chess's question was, should pornography be made illegal? And you have to answer questions of what is pornography and who is making it illegal and what are the consequences.
Yeah, I would say you run into a prohibition problem because prohibition doesn't make anything better.
No, it just makes you go underground.
I cannot think of a single example where prohibition didn't make things worse.
Right, it failed miserably.
Yeah, if you think there's a consent problem right now with pornography, wait till it's illegal.
Yeah, so
Right.
who's going to be making the money off of it then? It's going to be the cartels, it's going to be the mafia.
Well,
Right.
you know, there are countries where pornography is deemed illegal, and yet it's quite a growing economy. I found, for example, in Gaddafi's Libya, that pornography was deemed illegal, but it was readily available.
Well, but
because
they're
the
probably
government
a little bit
sold it.
differently. I mean, in those countries, what Cheshire is wearing right now would be too revealing. That would be considered to be like triple X. Mania's showing. Look, Mania's showing biceps. She has her entire. I mean, look at that. Oh my God, we're now demonetized, and we're now okay. We just violated TOS. She showed biceps.
I'll be right back in like 20 minutes or so. Hold on.
Yeah.
God, if we get a belly button on here, they're gonna yank the stream.
Hey, I Dream of Jeannie. She couldn't show. Barbara Eden couldn't show belly button.
Ooh.
There it is.
Oh, that's it. Demonetized.
Demonetized Fairy.
Demonetized right away.
My
She was just
plan
showing that
was
she had no piercing. That's all. You're allowed to do that.
Next thing you know, she's going to draw 7 circles.
So what Steven said was, what makes it such that porn which is consenting adults should be illegal? Isn't this a country founded upon freedoms? This person responded with, what makes you think porn is consensual? Because it's in the definition.
Yeah, I told the person, look, if it's not consensual, we have a word for that. It's called rape. I mean, it's like
Non-consensual pornography is already illegal under sexual assault and rape laws.
Correct.
Right.
Done.
So
that's already established.
We've already made it illegal.
I think so. What some religious people do is they start comparing things like pornography and prostitution and even homosexuality with their mind straight up goes to minors. I think so. That's why they start talking
slippery
about
slope fallacy, though, right?
I think so.
Completely slippery slope
I'll
fallacy.
give them that benefit of doubt that they straight up go to, oh, minors are going to be exploited here. Maybe that's why they start.
But that literally is a fallacy.
Right.
You're talking about what the difference between what is porn and what is exploitation. Two different things.
I definitely think there's exploitation in porn. There's no question about it. But that doesn't mean that they're not giving
exploitation
consent.
in every industry.
Right, but that's an issue.
You do a retail job, there's exploitation, I assure you.
But that's an issue of regulation, not an issue of legality.
Correct.
So porn might need to be regulated more properly, but it's almost impossible to have that conversation with what Landon was saying by making porn itself a moral question in such a religious heavy area.
Right. When that person was committing all this hyperbole, like, how do you know it's consensual? These things are, when you start talking about that kind of stuff in the dialogue, you're no longer having rational discourse, right?
Yeah.
This person's first comment legitimately just throw the whole conversation out the window.
And I hate that too. I really hate when you're having a conversation and all of a sudden somebody just goes down these rabbit holes of pure logical fallacies. Boy of Ink, €5. But why T-Rex can wear so little and no one has a problem with that? I call double standards. It's true. T-Rex is, well, he's got a tie on, which, by the way.
There are literally 0 T-Rexes in this hangout. I just want to point that out.
Yes.
Ceratosaurus, Nesticornis, thank you very much. Not even very closely related.
Are you misclating him or miss
species? Species, yeah. Very offended.
Did I assume that there is been long years of reptile porn, right? I assume.
Well, so You know, actually, there was a conversation about that earlier, and if you want to see how the tiny arms work along with all that, maybe I'll start.
I don't want to see how the tiny arms work. But, okay, so wait a minute. So Dapper's going to watch porn, and we're going to see how those tiny arms work. I don't really think that's going to work.
No. That's what the porn is going to be. Is getting to see how all of that works together, which has actually been a big scientific debate, by the way. How did dinosaurs like T-Rex or Ceratosaurus actually have sex?
Yes.
So
I was actually trying to make a legitimately scientific question. I wasn't trying to be tittillating.
Yeah, no, there's actually, so you especially get to places like Stegosauridae, where like you got all these weird spikes and spines coming out of places, and it's like, how?
Oh, that's easy.
How?
I know how they had sex very carefully.
Well, that actually is the answer for modern porcupines, which is basically, they're just extremely careful.
And modern humans too, if you're doing it right.
Hey guys, remember how you said a minute ago that their minds immediately go to sex or go to kids?
Mm-hmm.
So Steve had said, then what do you base it upon as it is legally guaranteed by the Constitution of the United States? Are you against the Constitution of America? And the person responded, nope, it's on the damages done to kids, sex workers, marriages.
That's exactly what he responded to me. And I'm like, oh my God.
I'm not saying it's not legal, but does that make it right?
Now, in fairness to him, again, I'm going to try to steel man here a little bit because that's what we do. We're people that look for the best arguments. Now, he could have been like S.J. Thomason was making. She actually made a very valid point, and that I actually agreed with her. Right, her point was this: that there's too much access to pornography for kids, right? Because it's readily available, and I don't disagree with her at all. And then, I
think kids would disagree with that.
Well, when I was 16, I'd probably disagree with it too. I had to watch Select TV and turn the dial off a little bit of the fundamental frequencies so the scramble would go away, and I could go, I think that's a nipple.
Spice TV, I was in that generation too.
Yeah.
Well, now you're running into the question of what counts as children.
Yeah, well,
do you
anything under
18?
Anything under 18 should you
legally, currently, yeah, but that's in the United States, not everywhere.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I agree.
Okay, so is there a discussion? I think that's a legitimate discussion to decide when do you count as an adult.
I agree. I totally agree with you. But my response to SJ was this though: there still has to be parental responsibilities there. Has to be. If you have a young person that lives in your house, access to a computer, that has access to internet, you should have parental filters on, right? I don't even have any children in this house. I still have safe search on. In fact, I legit do. I have safe search on. I just don't want to, I just don't. When I'm searching for something, I'm not looking for that kind of stuff. Ben Hoven, no relation, $2. Happy 17th birthday, Cheshire.
Oh, it's our co-host.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? I want to ask you guys a question. I know there's going to be a little divergence here. So, depending on your generation here. So, like Manya, if you're like talking on the phone, how would you make that as a hand symbol? Like use your hand to talk on the phone.
Oh, you would.
I go like that too. Landon, how you do this?
Yeah, or that. Yeah, that. Yeah,
I know where you're going.
You're doing the hindsight, right?
And yet, if you ask somebody who's under like 18, they do this. They do
it flat.
They do the flat against the
Right. This is how they talk on the phone. No, this is how you talk. And here's the thing. Wait, how do you dial a phone number, Landon?
Because the dialing thing would be like this, right?
Yeah, you put your finger in the hole and then you move it all the way around to the back.
Right, but I say I still have a POTS phone.
Nice.
I still have a POTS phone that does not require batteries, right? I have, as for emergency purposes, I have a phone that is a handset that gets dial tone through the telephone system.
Nice.
And does not require any electronic.
They still exist. Yeah, because they work on the electrical thing from the phone lines itself.
Yeah, the tip and ring and so forth. But that's getting harder and harder to get these days.
Yeah, we don't have a landline here at all.
I have copper running back to the central office from
Yeah, we don't have any copper lines here. It's fiber optic for the cable system through the FiOS. So we don't have the ability to have phones, which is kind of crappy if you have to fax stuff. But
No, I just excuse me, just so that people are unclear. I have more internet connections than you do in your business at this location. but I have a diversity of services, including pots.
Oh.
Well, Steve, this just go back to the whole pornography question. It's just not coming back to me. Have you ever seen the Magic Sandwich Show with Ozzy and I forget what the other guy's
We
name
don't watch
is?
the Magic Sandwich Show.
Oh. Well, Ozzy and she
How
was-
long ago is the question?
Right, yeah, that is a really good question. How long ago was this?
I was watching it back in the day years ago, so
I
Yeah.
can't remember the year exactly. I want to say maybe 3-5 years ago.
What was Ozzy saying?
Well, it was Ozzy and a few others. It was regarding somebody's. One of the guys on there made a video about the issue of rape and said that women are the victims, but there is some things they can do to limit that possibility of actually happening because of where they dress and etc.
Are you telling me that they were arguing rape apologetics?
No. It wasn't rape apologetics.
If you tell me that the woman can prevent rape based on what they're wearing, that is rape apologetics.
Well, who is it that said that you get automatic abortions?
Oh,
Oh, that was a senator or something, wasn't it? Congressman?
Who
Or...
was senator with that?
Oh, yeah, the woman's biology is such that they were.
Shut that shit
Yeah,
down.
the body would recognize it was rape and automatically terminate it. That's. I don't know how they came up with that. I mean, there's certain things you just hear and then you go, it's just
Todd Aiken.
Is that who it was?
Ah, yes, you're right.
Now, I mean, I'm hoping to God there was still some backstory there that we don't know about, because I don't see how anybody could say that with such a straight face and literally be that stupid.
Rape argument.
No, it's just well, regarding the whole thing. Aside from that, it wasn't rape apologetics per se. It was just based off of research.
No. I'm not letting that fly. If you tell a woman they can prevent a rape done to them based on what they are wearing, if they go out and wear something provocative, therefore they are inviting a rape and not preventing a rape as they should, that is by definition rape apologetics. You are saying that person deserves to get raped, or that they shouldn't have been wearing something and they therefore brought the rape upon themselves by not doing enough to prevent it based on what they're wearing. That is rape apologetics. There aren't numbers that back that shit up. So many women get raped in Muslim countries, and they are completely covered from head to toe.
When I was in 8th standard, I was wearing a full-on thing, fully covered thing. But the only thing was, again, that's a victim blaming itself. And to this day, I blame myself. It was a little transparent, and you could see
that is if you tell anybody that you can prevent a rape based on what you're wearing, that is rape apologetics. Period. End of sentence.
A kid like me got assaulted. When I was a kid, and I was wearing the traditional clothes back home. So, yeah.
I'll tell you what we'll do. Hey, chat, 1 in the chat if that is rape apologetics, 2 in the chat if it's not. Given how much we've actually talked about apologetics,
you let our completed thought till then.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I feel like he was trying to get to a different place than that necessarily.
Yeah, probably. Sorry,
Yeah.
I just can't let that fly.
No, Cheshire, it's okay. I understand. But something else that came up in that discussion, it was regarding some research that Ozzy had come across while he was in college. He mentioned it was research on the whole topic, and it was over the issue of sexual release, particularly. Basically, if there's a zero, mutual sexual release usually has to do with either getting married or having a girlfriend, etc. But if all avenues to that are cut off, basically, that's.
I think I know what you're talking. I didn't watch the episode
issue.
you're talking about, but I think I do know the argument you're talking about. I think are you referring to clergy? There's an argument to be had that clergy members that are denied getting married and denied being able to have sex, that it actually is detrimentally harmful to their psyche. They have a propensity to possibly act out and do criminal things, especially in the whole thing with the Catholic Church with kids. More so,
I would be curious to see.
I don't know. Hang on a second. I don't know the actual studies for that, But I think that was the argument that was actually being made, that they should allow priests to be able to be married for that.
And that's what I say is I wonder if there's research that
I don't
gone
know.
into.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I would say sure. Yeah, that could definitely be a fact. If you're talking about like rape within the clergy and rape within the church, like if you're saying it's less likely for priests to assault children if they were allowed to be married.
Right.
I don't know if that would be the case. It would have to see some numbers to demonstrate that is the case.
It is plausible.
What I think is more likely is that because the church protects pedophiles and protects predators, they're more likely to attract those people into those positions, and because of that, you're going to end up with a higher percentage of those people in those positions.
I will say a couple of quick things. One is groups that have easy access to children always have a rate of people who want to abuse children or who are likely to joining them. So while it's not always sexual abuse, you get a lot of child abuse in places like daycare centers, teachers, priests, anyone who is frequently left alone with children. That is a group that's going to have a pretty high rate of child abuse.
Or somebody that's in charge. I mean, like the Boy Scouts.
Right.
That was always a problem then, too. Now, I always felt bad. My Boy Scout master never had an attraction to me, and I just thought I was ugly growing up. So,
well, I mean, that's probably what it was.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing.
It wasn't just isolated to the clergy, though. It, like, say somebody in prison, for example.
Yeah.
That's another instance.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think those are kind of different arguments.
I might like to add. I might want to add to that. It's when you talk about abuse of minors in the church. The pathetic excuse that those guys come up with is, oh, well, they were bad people anyways, pretending to be good people in the church. They were the homosexuals who were pretending to be good people. They were the deviants who are in here to harm the church. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You have your priests are supposed to be celibate, which is unnatural to expect from a human. Like, there can be people, it can be a rarity that people can stay celibate their whole life, but you're expecting a majority of your priests, all of their priests actually, to remain celibate their whole life. And then you're blaming a certain population for what's happening inside your church. Like, you're trying to blame it on homosexuality and about people like what the fuck? The mental gymnastics that these people come up with is like, fuck.
Well, actually, interestingly, there are some. So the Roman Catholic Church is one segment of the wider Catholic Church, and Eastern Catholic churches haven't had a lot of these same there have been instances of abuse, but it has not been in this widespread, systematic manner that you get with the Roman Catholic Church. And Eastern Catholic churches, most of the priests are married.
Exactly.
Curiosity, how do we get this as a dark subject for her birthday party?
The same way. Being married and being able to have sex with a woman isn't going to make you not attracted to children.
Well, I think that's the argument. Yeah, I don't think anybody's saying otherwise. Yeah, but I mean, how are we going down this dark path when we're supposed to have a birthday thing for Cheshire?
Happy birthday!
And always ends up talking about these subjects.
I am going to blame it on her. She did bring up the pornography thing.
Well, no, I wanted to talk about that but see, we brought that up because it actually legit happened.
That might have been before I got here. My apologies.
Yeah, it happened on Twitter today.
Let our friend finish. Come on, man. He's trying to make a point, I guess.
Oh yeah.
All right, Steve, make your point here because I just took too many turns here.
Well. First. Yeah, I'm going to agree with Dapper. With Eastern Orthodox, that's extremely low and not likely to happen because they have that avenue open because they're married of that sexual release. Whereas in where the Catholic, Roman Catholic, where celibacy is mandatory for most, though there are some instances where they are married when they're the priesthood. But yeah, that's all.
Yeah, I mean, I totally understand that argument, but I mean, you have people like Rez Rhetoric, who's so ugly he never gets laid. He doesn't go around raping people. So I mean,
but he does seek the donkey porn.
Well, that's fine though. That's why we think porn. That's why porn should be legal for people like Rez. Right. There you go, full circle.
Well, I don't know Rez. I don't know this person myself. I'm not going to comment. I'm not going to comment.
We don't judge
you. He's muted. I don't think he realizes he's muted.
Oh, I realize. I'm just trying to process the slander against me.
But if Red's rhetoric is coming towards you fast, it'll be a blues rhetoric.
I get that joke.
Can I say that I'm really excited because I think this is the first time I've ever witnessed Landon and Reds in a call at the same time.
It's very rare. If it doesn't happen very often. When's the last time it happened? I don't even remember.
I don't know. When is it, Red? We've touched bases on online before.
Yeah, it was a while ago though.
Yeah.
You guys, why don't you guys do a rocket hangout together?
Yes.
In fact,
I
Reds,
think they should get Landon and Astronomy Live and Reds to talk about the comet.
Well, we already did that, actually.
Not with you.
Yeah, but what else is there to talk about? I want to see Reds do a hangout. Reds, here's my challenge to you. You need to do a hangout. Pick whoever you want to go with you too, Landon, whoever. But you need to do a hangout explaining rocket science, like legit how a fucking rocket works with the physics, with the nozzles, with the rocket formulas, the mathematics. That's your challenge. Because if I do those goddamn videos,
I'd jump on that.
And we all do these educational shit. You need to do an educational video, man.
A lot of people don't understand how rockets fly.
Yeah.
Oh wait, rockets can't fly in space because there's no air to push off of. Isn't that how it works?
I want to know about efficiencies. I want to know how the efficiency changes of the rocket as as the fuel gets
people
used
would
up.
say, well, why does NASA say they're at 110% of blah blah blah?
Well, yeah, what's max Q? What's a delta V? I want to know all this stuff because Kerbal Space thing because we all play that. So we do know these concepts.
I was gonna say just play Kerbal Space and you'll figure it out pretty quick, or you'll die.
I know how this stuff works. My problem is Kerbals die.
See, have you managed to safely soft land on the moon yet?
Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, easily.
Okay,
but people can't.
That's your delta V is easy for that.
Can't take the thing and, for example, calculate trajectories and then put it in the Kerbal to get it there. Because if you want to land on the outer planets, you just have to do the orbital mechanics and solve it.
I think the problem with Kerbal is, like, for example, landing on the moon, the delta V is easy, so you don't need any big complicated stuff. But when you go on more of the outer planets, you need to design something that has enough fuel to get you there. That's not so heavy where you're not going to spend a lot of fuel by using, trying to change your orbital entry, and you're so heavy that you're using a lot of fuel for that. So it takes a lot of figuring out what's my best configuration given what I have to get me where I'm going with the best fuel utilization for my delta T's that I need.
Space navigation and space communication is very different than getting the rocket to not blow up on launch.
That's true too. And you could use Holman transfers, and Raleigh points out using Holman transfers and other things for orbital entries. Yeah.
So what you're asking for essentially a video series on first a breakdown of how a rocket works and like how it's built, and then the functionality of how to prevent it from blowing up, and then launch, and then in space how it then operates, and then probably how it comes back down if you're going to cover one of those rockets.
Well,
later.
if he wants to do like a Falcon 9, yeah. Reg, you think
you're asking what Reg wants to do of Falcon 9?
He might just want to do a Saturn or something. He just might want to explain,
No, I'm saying he wants to have sex with it.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely wants to have sex with a Falcon 9.
Yeah, there's no question about that.
Matter of fact, there's high probability he already has somehow, but
all I'm saying is that there was a blind spot in their security, and I went.
Hey, look, we don't judge your poor kid. You do you, man. You do you. I
satellites, buddy.
Hey, look, he's a tall dude, so a Falcon 9 and him are more compatible than you think. But Reg, do you think you're up for that challenge to do something like that?
That sounds like work, though. I just like yelling at people.
Well, yeah.
You can yell at them the facts.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, Reds, look at it this way. You'll be helping educating people on these issues that are not aware of them.
It would also shit on a lot of flat earthers. That's gonna get him more. There'll be a lot of flat earthers.
And we'll make it okay. We're gonna up the difficulty for him, and it has to use a little bit of calculus. Time rate of change for fuel. Hey, look, we've all done it.
You really think that flat earthers are going to understand calculus? They don't understand basic trigonometry.
Well, it's not for the flat earthers.
They don't understand logic. So
no, it's definitely not for the flat earthers, man. They're not going to understand shit. I mean, literally, when a flat earther doesn't grasp the concept of things like momentum and impulse, and the fact you have an explosive basically going on in a chamber that's pushing all of the walls of the container equally, except for where it's coming out, and you have exhaust coming out, and if exhaust goes out that way, the rocket's got to go that way. This is not rocket science. Wait, actually it is.
Somebody
Tell them it's like
I'm gonna go
like
get that.
hot working, and they will understand.
Yeah. So here's the thing I think that I prefer to see. I recognize that some people enjoy the dumpster fires, but I prefer to see educating people about things relating to space as opposed to trying to debunk things. I think that's I like the positive side. I'm not saying the negative side isn't fun, but right? I think I prefer. So, for example, I'm not interested in debating a flat earther. I instead would like to go on and explain about how we actually measure the distance to the sun, because I've done it, right? I want to explain about how we know information that we know how we know it. And I think a positive approach towards how do rockets work, how and why they do what they do, would be informative, right? It would also help arm other people, so they wouldn't be fooled into these sort of cults.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the answer would be both, right? Because that as soon as Reds does a video like this, the flat earthers are going to try and have a go at it, and it's just basically going to revitalize a lot of the flat Earth debates.
That would actually be fun to watch. Is how would flat earthers react to actual literal?
Yeah, math is math. I mean, for example, in the hangout,
they wouldn't. They don't know how to do it.
Well, in the hangout I had this morning, like for example, on number 7 problem I had a sign error. I made a mistake, and I actually had a variable error. And the tree feline pointed it out. Why? Because it's subjective. Did I say, "Oh, you're wrong"? I said, "No, it's math."
You didn't debate.
Yeah,
you didn't do a math,
and I fixed it. It took me 2 tries. But you know,
you didn't block people because they.
Oh no, she's gone. Yeah, no, she's gone. Yeah. All my mods, everybody, they're all gone. I just sit in my room myself, just do algebraic equations now alone in the dark.
Yes,
I'm not going into exactly why this is a bad idea.
Behind the behind the what do you say, the thermal reaction inside the rocket, and how it helps work against the gravity, and how it gives the rocket the lift.
Free body diagram.
And the different types of fuels that are there. There's more than one rocket, right? There's a whole range of rockets for different purposes. And so
it's like one chamber surrounded by multiple rockets that are kind of doing the job.
You don't have to become a rocket mechanic, but at least understanding some of the basics would be, I think, intriguing and scientifically.
Yeah. No, I like Kerbal. Kerbal really does give you a really good understanding of that stuff. I mean, obviously not enough to actually like be a rocket scientist, but I mean, you learn a little bit about the science and the physics, and it's all works. I mean, it's legit stuff. But what, Reds? Why is it a bad idea?
Why is it a bad idea? Because of a idiot who shall remain unnamed. Said that the space station was a plane, so I went out and actually debunked that nonsense with an actual observation. Me and Astronomy Live went out at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and we observed the transit. I was in one location, he was a little over a kilometer away, and we actually got parallax of the transit with the International Space Station. From that, we were able to derive the altitude of the space station, and with the video, we were also able to verify the speed of the space station. And with a little bit of pixel counting, we were able to verify the size of the space station. And it turns out NASA was telling the truth for everything, to the surprise of literally nobody, unless you're a flurf. Well, after I posted that video, I got bombarded to hell and back with a whole bunch of dumbasses who didn't know basic trig. One of them, you know what, fuck it, I'll say his name, is Antonio Superchats, and I just got exposed to what can only be described as the dumbest human being on the face of the planet. So whenever I make a smart video, all the dumbasses come out and they start attacking me.
That's true. Okay, I'll give you this. I'll give you this.
And then I have to, hang on, I'm not done yet. And then I have to make not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not even 5, not even 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, but 10 videos to one dumbass telling him how fucking sign works.
Well, there you go. At least you got content. Now, I got to tell you, I do think that most flat earthers are probably posed. I don't think Antonio Superchats is a Poe. I think he literally is the stupid, and he actually believes it.
Yes, but the fact remains that I had to make 10 videos about this son of a bitch, and it sucked ass because I had to repeat myself over and over again.
Well,
and Red, I love your content, and it's fun to watch it for entertainment purposes. This is why I prefer to talk about the education, right? And if someone is going to fail my class, they'll fail my class. That's their problem, right? And I'm not saying don't do what you do. I love watching some of the dumpster fires you face up with.
Landon wants more Reds content in this direction.
But I don't think that giving them, I don't want to give them a platform, and I'm not interested in debating the shape of the earth. I would rather talk about how did I measure the altitudes of meteors? How did I measure the distance to the moon?
Give people the tools.
I've actually done it.
Yeah.
I've actually done it. I've measured the size of the earth, right?
I would disagree with him a little bit there because I like combining that educational aspect with that bloodlust that's inherent in all humans, which is kind of what Reds does.
Yeah,
beating someone over the heads with
Uh-huh.
facts is great.
But I like the educational stuff, and so there might be people out there that say, look, I know the Earth is round and stuff like that, but I'm kind of curious, how is it rockets get up to where they're supposed to go? Show us the math of that. Show us, how it actually works.
Well, sure, but people who are going to look for that are going to go to Khan Academy.
Not necessarily.
And they're going to figure that out on a nice...
They're not saying, I think the answer is to not only do educational content, is do educational content in the Reds rhetoric style of content.
Which is fine.
So it's a
sure.
matter of the ISS measurement video that they did.
Yeah, I mean, we all have our own styles. I happen to use Libre Math, right? Or Math Office. I can use either one. They're pretty similar. I like that style. It's just how I'm comfortable to show people how to do mathematical stuff.
I like how we're here for my birthday and we're talking about Reds' content.
Well,
You brought this up.
Reds takes precedence. He is the man here, so chill.
Steve is doing everything he can to detract from the actual stream.
You were talking about porn earlier. How's that detracting?
No, because you brought it up.
So Chess, I'm almost finished with my grappa. What should I go to next in celebrating?
I'm out of beer. Can I go get another one?
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact,
Go
I
get
will
another
too.
beer.
Okay,
So that's the scotch, and I'm on
I can go with
Don't
with
break
a French
anything.
liqueur. I can go with a there's a special from French Polynesia. Would you?
Ooh, I would do that. Yeah, I would do that.
Okay. Do you read French
now?
Do you read French?
Very little.
Okay. So this is the bottle that we had on, and this was so there we go here. You see
What is that?
What is that? DELI? Is that a CE? It looks like.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, it's a citron.
Yes.
Wait, I love this sound.
See there from
This is
French
one of the greatest
Polynesia.
sounds ever. Hang on, Land it, one second. Greatest sound ever. Ready?
Ooh. So
And it's icy too.
So this is, as I say, was bottled there. This was on Moorea in French Polynesia that they had a distillery there, and with the old, dipping the tops into the wax you have to peel off, so forth. It's actually quite a nice liqueur. I had it.
Oh, that's a liqueur.
Yeah, so I had a previous one here that I thought I finished. You see, here's the if you read this, right?
It's a little bit hard to read on
Citron?
the camera.
Something citron.
Oh, you should save some of that for the future.
For the future.
For the future. Eventually, Landon and I are going to hook up and hang out again, and I want to try that.
I would say
feel
this.
like you should drink it
I'm
and then
sad
buy
to
another
say, if I go back to French Polynesia for the total solar eclipse in 2020, I'll pick up because this is actually empty. The one that I have that's not been opened yet is this one, right? This one here. This is one that.
Oh.
How the hell is Monty putting on a sweater? I turned off
jealous.
my AC. I swear to God, it's like 110 degrees.
So
in
what
here
is
right
what is that? What
She's
is that-
in
what
New
is that-
Zealand. It's
What does
winter
that
there.
translate to?
Say
Is
again?
that
Hawani?
HUAHINE?
now.
Yeah.
Wahine?
Wahini?
Why?
It's Dapper, it's French.
Oh, it's French? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Wahi.
Really? You don't know it?
I don't know what that word.
What?
Are you sure that's not just a proper noun? Like the name of a place? Also, Steve, by the way, it's winter
No, I
where
know
mine
it's winter
is.
down there. I just
I'm not
but visually,
familiar with.
it's,
I know it's a place, but I'm not familiar with Polynesian French.
Yep. So that's something.
French I
That's
know is
something.
like swamp backwards Quebec French.
So guys, these are the two that are there. The other one, the third one, I finished over a long period of time. So it's sad to say, but I will go there and get more if I'm allowed to that. And I must say, the one thing that one of my quests is to find a drinkable French Polynesian wine. The wines from French Polynesia are amongst the worst wines I have ever experienced in my life.
Shade there, isn't he?
That's weird.
Ouch.
But imagine you're on a
The growing conditions should be great.
well, but you're on this atoll that's like 2 meters above
soil is nothing.
stuff. And it really does when you drink the wines, the primary taste is salt.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is really close to salt water. That's probably not gonna be too great for it.
And you have some
atolls have, like, no soil.
essence of seaweed and in
hang on.
there.
Speaking of
It's bad. Oh,
What about
the A-list has arrived.
who said? No,
I mean,
you're talking
Red
about.
started it.
What you
I
talking about?
finished.
Wait, what are you talking about? Liquors. Who was talking about liquors? You were talking about liquors. I was like, speaking of liquors. Hey, Mikey.
Works every time.
Yeah. By the way, now that it's good that you arrived here, Mikey, because I just got a message from Sweet Heathen. Well, at least I got a little while ago. I didn't see it till now, but she sends her love to everybody. So happy birthday to you, Cheshire.
Cheers to Sweet.
Oh.
It's a little too early for her. We actually were gonna do this later, but because Feline wanted earlier,
Cheers.
and I love Feline, we decided to do it a little bit earlier for her benefit. So
Cheers.
cheers.
That's what the French liqueur is.
Hey, is Nikki online? Call her in.
Nikki? You want me to page Nikki?
Wow.
Reds and Mikey, is it good?
It's a citrus, but it's also got like coffee in it, I think.
Oh.
What is it? Wait, what is it?
It's his Polynesian French
It's
liqueur.
this thing. So it's this thing right here.
That's how
I would totally
pronounce
try it.
that thing.
That before.
So, because Reds and Mikey missed the first little bit, I have a question for them. Should porn be outlawed in the United States, yes or no, ignoring the Constitution that says it can't be?
You said porn?
Mm-hmm.
They said pork. I was like, wait a minute.
That's gonna be the next question for. Yeah, we're gonna be
That would
migrating
never
into
happen.
Muslim.
I mean,
Bacon cheeseburgers. Come on, man.
I mean,
Bacon would never be outlawed.
If pork were to get outlawed, I
Dude,
wouldn't.
you
would
kill
watch it
more
and
pork here
operate.
than anybody. Like everybody combined.
I wouldn't miss it.
killer.
Honestly. I wouldn't miss it. I'd probably still have my fucking car. So
I mean, you wouldn't have massive. You didn't have pork.
Dude, I told you should have made bacon out of those pigs, and
did.
then you would have.
did,
I mean,
just
no,
the cops
he
took
should
it
have
all.
sold off the bacon, or at least eaten it.
it was covered in coolant. No.
Is it
Flavor.
They could have walked it off.
Such a sissy.
that pigs will eat pork?
I think so.
Pigs will eat pork.
So yeah, you have great. We put it in the
Pigs will eat
feed.
anything.
Yeah, good luck finding something the pigs aren't going to eat.
Mikey, what do
Yeah.
you think? Should porn be made illegal?
Wow.
Outlawed.
Outlawed.
What's the difference between something being outlawed and
Whatever.
something being illegal?
That's a good question. Whatever reason
Outlawed
you
is
think
illegal
it might
by
be a
I would
yes.
say this.
You can come up with
Outlaw
your
is
own
not protected by the law.
I don't see a reason to ban. I don't see a
Outlawed
reason
means
to
it's
ban
been
porn.
outlawed means been moved. The law said it's not legal.
Mhm.
That's what I look at it.
Means
Made
The
illegal.
difference between illegal and not legal.
Well, I mean, Mikey asked a good question. Why? What would possibly make it illegal? So I would.
But
Like,
Mikey has not. Mikey has been pondering this question.
Yeah. He hasn't really.
I'm just trying to think of any situation where some adult's naked body is not allowed to be viewed by another.
Have you seen Red's
like,
naked body? You would know the answer to that question. Just saying.
His
I'm not
total-
saying. Wait,
his
I'm not saying that I have
body.
seen it.
Red
I'm not
naked
saying
face.
that.
Isn't that like
I
exception
plead the
for
fifth on that. I'm not going to.
No, that was a
I think-
Falcon. That was a Falcon heavy slip, Steve. Not too bad.
I honestly do believe that.
By the way, I'm not sending those
porn-
photos back, Reds. By the way.
I think porn should be illegal unless it's 2 chicks or donkeys. You get an exception for that.
Here's
two
one
chicks,
up with donkeys.
Is it 2 chicks or donkeys? Or is it 2
And
Yeah,
chicks
that was
and
or,
donkeys?
not an and.
Yeah.
You know what? If you want to mix the two, I'd be okay with that.
Are we talking about baby chickens?
What kind of shit
Yes,
are you
that also
into,
is
Mikey?
wrong
Holy
with
crap.
That's what I thought. He was referring to baby chickens.
You said
and donkeys.
chicks, 2 chicks, and then
Yes,
2
2 chicks and a donkey.
It's gonna get stepped on.
Animal. Well, no, not necessarily. Depends
You
on
guys are
how
a
it's
whole
done.
different level of alt, aren't
Not
you?
if you're careful.
They're furries.
Only if you're an amateur.
Yeah. I did see.
Golden,
like,
are you
a
okay? Are you
Vine-
okay over there?
I saw a vine of like a pigeon or something, some small bird that was just like, wah, 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 wah. And then like this horse didn't
was a
see it
chicken.
and just totally stomped it. It was a chicken?
Well, no, the
And
horse
just-
ate it. You're talking about the horse eating the chick?
No,
Oh.
it just
That's a
stepped.
different
No,
one.
no. Yeah, that was a different one. It just stepped on it and it made the squeaky toy sound. I was like, that's why it makes that sound. That's so morbid.
You're in some
Oh
freaky
wow!
stuff.
But I could say from a person who grew up on a farm, one of my more scarring multi-species interaction was sheep
Oh.
and geese.
Meh.
Hey, everybody, real quick. I unfortunately have to get going because my computer is about to become occupied with things that will
Porn.
basically tie it up entirely.
Porn.
Well, I'm not going to say that, but it is
The
a
internet is
video.
for porn.
I
Yeah.
am working on a video, so we'll say that. But
Oh God!
I
thank
gotta
you
get
very
going
much
too.
for having me.
I look,
buddy.
Happy birthday, Josh.
and I look forward to seeing you in maybe
Porn.
sometime in September.
Oh,
He's
absolutely.
looking forward to
October.
seeing you in porn.
Yeah, well, I mean, stay tuned on various other platforms. But
Pornhub.
again, there are actual
OnlyFans.
concrete steps being made towards a D&D campaign. So that's
I've been
actually
hearing that for like 2 years, dude.
Yeah, but there were never any concrete steps, Steve. We have maps.
Chat.
Yeah, it's concrete.
I tell you what,
centerboard.
when I have my character sheet in front of me, then I'll believe you.
So-
All right. Well, I got to get going too. So enjoy yourselves,
All right,
everybody.
guys, thank you,
Happy
buddy.
birthday, Chesh.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Hey, dude.
All right, before anybody else
The
leaves,
time
Mikey, answer the
frame-
question real quick. Yes or no?
Yes.
Oh,
Do you have an answer
No.
yet? Okay, there you go. All right,
okay.
Hey, that was a very
timid. That was a
resounding
weak no, wasn't it? That was a really kind of reserved, timid no.
The next
really
thing-
put his heart into that.
So the next thing is that somebody had responded says, okay, I'm going to give you the percentages. So far, yes, theist is at 35.4%. No theist is at 20.4%. Yes, not theist is at 3.5%. And no, not theist is at 40.8%. Down here, somebody had said, it's absolutely disappointing to read these results, which should read 100% yes, as in yes, porn should be outlawed. Pornography fuels sexual slavery and destroys those being filmed and those watching. What would Jesus do?
I'm just looking at
And
Mikey's friend there.
Response from the guy that we were talking about earlier said, I know what Jesus would do, smack their behind with a whip. So I guess at least this person does know
That's
Jesus.
a very niche porn, by
You're
the way.
implying that there's Jesus fan fiction.
There is lots of Jesus fan fiction. Probably on Pornhub.
If it exists, there is a porn of it.
Yes. And if you find out that there isn't porn of it, you are then responsible to make porn of it.
So is there flat Earth porn?
That's big
Oh
responsibility.
yeah.
Don't ask these questions, Landon. You just heard the rules. You've been to the ice circle.
Landon, do you want to check and then be responsible for making flat Earth porn if there isn't?
You just can't ask all the questions.
Oh, look, we got more companions coming in. Oh my goodness. Whee!
Oh, nice cat.
Yeah,
we
he's.
have a dogo. We have a nice
And
feline.
You guys notice anything different about me? That's
So that's
You
not
are,
right. They always
you're
reach
doing
the worst conclusions.
You drew it all in?
You're
Or are
even
you
more
drawing
confident.
your wedding ring?
You guys notice anything?
There's a green thingy.
Is it one of those fluorescent like
It goes in the dark. You gotta
in the dark.
let it ring.
Does that mean when you're actually involved in green screen that ring will disappear?
Now you see. Now you see.
According to Chesh,
Yeah.
I have the most fanfic of anybody, making me the most popular. According to Chesh.
In the room, yeah.
Who has more fanfic than me in the community?
In the community, yeah, probably.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has more fanfic than me.
Well,
I don't know why. I think people should make fanfic of Mikey and Manya.
I agree.
They don't want them
Together.
problems.
Yeah.
So I have one more
What
question.
beautiful children would they
because
have? You know.
I have one more
But
question
Mikey
for
has a
Reds.
girlfriend,
And
so I can't think that way.
Mikey does not have a girlfriend.
no, Mikey doesn't have a girlfriend. He's married now.
Oh, you're married now? Is that, wait, you really, legit?
Yeah.
Like you really did get married?
I'm engaged,
Are you engaged?
but I think it's bullshit that only the girl gets an engagement ring. So I bought my own damn ring.
No, I get that. No, dude, that's
No, in my culture,
Right?
both get their engagement ring,
Yeah,
and the
that's what I'm
boys
saying.
get the.
yeah. Why should she
Walk
get
around like a
one?
bum?
Damn right. You need to.
Yeah,
People
my
need,
dad had
people need
an
to know that
engagement
he's
ring.
off the market, and he's like, look, I found someone to love me. I never thought it was gonna happen. See?
If you just invest enough money into somebody's, OnlyFans for their feet, you can get her to say yes.
Yeah, it's all
Where's your-
time and money. It's all an investment.
Well, Mikey,
Get your
I'm
diamonds.
All relationships are like that, though.
may I
Mazel tov,
toast your success, Mikey?
Yes, mazel
Thank you,
tov.
thank you, thank you. Go get your diamonds.
Hey, by the way, Mike, you didn't hear?
Poll.
I'm getting married to Converse Contender. Yeah.
Huh?
I'm getting married to Converse Contender.
Nice. I made her go get her diamonds.
So Chess, you had a question you wanted to pose. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's your
okay,
birthday.
so I wanted to pose a question because Reds and Mikey missed it. If somebody makes the argument that a woman can prevent rape by wearing different clothing, does that count as rape apologetics?
Yes.
Mikey?
Mikey's like, is that even a question? Seriously?
I believe the answer is yes. By the way, just for the record.
I say yes.
Say it again, because
If somebody makes the argument that a woman can prevent herself from being raped by changing her clothing based on what she is wearing, does that count as rape apologetic?
yeah.
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 Thanks.
I was like,
By the way, I'm not disagreeing with you, Chesh, but let me throw a monkey wrench in there.
Yeah, do it.
All right.
Fuck's
So
sake.
I am.
Worded carefully,
If I was to hang on, if
I'm not letting you go.
if I was to walk down somewhere like in Compton, I'm wearing a KKK shirt or something like that, like full on KKK outfit like that. There's a high probability I'm probably going to get killed. Would you agree? Or assaulted?
I don't
No,
really
if you-
serious, so I'm willing to grant that you're looking for me to say yes. You'll
or
probably
basically,
going to
Mikey walking anywhere in like the Bible Belt, anywhere. So I mean,
they know what's up. They know what time it is.
but
They better pack a lunch.
let's say
It's
I
gonna be a
was
long
wearing
day.
I was wearing a Richard Spencer, shirt, and I'm going down, in downtown LA or Compton or Watts or something like that. Which, by the way, I live very close to. There's a high probability I'm going to get attacked. As by the way, not saying that's necessarily a bad thing. But by not wearing that, I have lessened my chances of being attacked, even though being attacked is wrong, and I'm not asking to be attacked, right?
that
Did you-
that
hold on,
phrase,
I
you
have
have
a-
lessened your chances. That shouldn't come to that. It shouldn't come to that.
But
you
that is
have
a fact,
to
though.
lessen
I mean,
the
it does lessen your chance. If I was wearing a
And
Richard
the-
Spencer,
It does. It
Okay,
does.
so, all right, so here's
I
my
have the right to
Hold on.
wear
all
what
right,
he
y'all can't
wants
talk
to
at
wear.
once because then I can't hear anybody. Manya, go first, then Meki, then
Yeah.
Chesh.
So
Yeah.
that phrase is the trigger, or like not a trigger, but is where you get it wrong. Or anyone can get it wrong. It's the guy can wear whatever he wants to. The person who is attacking is choosing to attack and is choosing to harm someone because of what they're wearing.
Right.
So,
But if by not wearing it, I do lessen my chance of getting attacked. Would I not be?
yeah, but still, it should.
She's
Just
saying
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. We don't live in an idealistic world.
That, hold on. I didn't finish. Just because it lessens the chances doesn't mean that you tell the guy you shouldn't have worn that.
Well, that's
No,
we're
yeah,
not talking
what
about
she
that. Hang
means
on.
to say-
We're not talking about that. Telling somebody you shouldn't have worn that's rape apologetics or attack apologetics. Nobody's saying otherwise of that. I'm looking.
Yes.
I'm just saying from the fundamental statistical fact by wearing something provocative, in this case, racist would be the provocative thing.
But
if I'm wearing something racist,
statistically yes, but it shouldn't. We shouldn't take those statistics as being saying, oh, they could have avoided that, so they're responsible.
I get that, but that's not the argument.
Yeah,
the argument does not wearing racist clothing in a predominantly black neighborhood or vice versa. You know, if the Black Lives Matter's wearing some kind of like Trump thing. You know, the Bible Belt. I don't know. But again, I'm not advocating for that. I really do think you can wear whatever the hell you want.
You're asking, like, statistically, are you or are you not more likely to be attacked? I'm pretty sure we'll all say, yes, you are more likely to be attacked.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So then the next question is should you be?
No, of course
I have proof to back up my point. From the documentary Die Hard 3 with Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis. when Bruce Willis was made to wear that sign in the middle of Harlem, instantly Sam Jackson was like, this dude, not all his dogs are barking. He must have just got out of Bellevue. Like he's
trying to make him out to be insane.
Right.
So they didn't hurt him. Yeah.
Because that's, you clearly have something's
not quite right upstairs, right?
What Mike is trying to say is if you do that, it's
too on the nose.
Trying to provoke people to attack you, which is different than wearing something as a woman. My argument was going to be, can you find an outfit that a woman should wear to equate that in an area?
Yeah, I think that's actually.
They would literally have to wear a shirt that says "Please rate me."
Yeah, no, I think that's a very actually valid defense. Is that when you're wearing something provocative in order to facilitate some kind of attack, saying, "Look, I'm wearing this, KKK outfit because I want people to attack me." Then obviously, So I do agree with there's a distinction to be made there, of course.
So again, it's
I think Reds is trying to say something.
It's the people who express that wish, isn't it? Clothes don't do that, right? Someone can be oblivious of the KKK outfit. Just say,
I think there's an implicature there, though.
Walk down the middle of the street, but whether their intention is to provoke an attack,
I think their intention is to provoke. I think there's obviously a look. I can't be a mind reader, but if somebody is wearing KKK garb in a predominantly black neighborhood, I'm sorry, their intention is to provoke. Straight up.
Sure. Yeah. So then, what's the as a woman? Sorry, go ahead.
But the reason why I didn't go down the statistical analysis route is because I don't think the question posed to me was asking for these statistics, just the brute force facts. Says, would saying this be rape apologetics? And point blank, regardless what the percentages are, yes. Yeah, I think
everybody agreed about that. I don't think anybody didn't agree.
Yeah. So now, if you want to make a statistical argument, then that's a completely separate conversation.
Yeah.
Just want to.
Yeah, I think there's definitely nuances to be had and distinctions to be made.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why Steve wanted to throw a monkey wrench in. Well, if this is the case, then would this also be the case, right? So the question back to Steve ends up being, or like, again, this isn't what Steve is arguing. Obviously, that he's just throwing a hypothetical monkey wrench in.
She's smart enough to know the difference. See. People on Twitter don't get it. They die. I mean.
So the question back to Steve would be, can you tell me as we all agree that if somebody wears the KKK outfit in a predominantly black neighborhood looking to be attacked and attempting to provoke an attack, what outfit does a woman need to wear to provoke a rape consistently?
I don't think anything that they wear.
There isn't one.
Yeah,
there isn't one. Yeah,
exactly. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. Okay.
Yeah. But it's so funny because what's amazing is that we as adults and people that have a lot of conversations, we can talk about these things and actually have decent conversations about it.
I find it really ironically hilarious and amusing to find out the Magic Sandwich Show was engaging in rape apologetics.
I don't remember the exact. I didn't watch it, so I don't know.
That's really funny for reasons that if anybody who follows the channel and some of the drama that goes on in the community might know why that's funny.
Well, but to be fair though, if it was 5 years ago, I mean that was back when.
I don't care if it was 5 years ago. Does not matter.
But again, I don't know the story behind it, so I didn't see it, so I'm not going to weigh into it because I'm not going to speak ill of DPR Jones because he's dead, and that's just.
I don't talk about people that don't affect my day-to-day life.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with not speaking ill about people that are dead?
I don't know. It's not my thing.
I frequently say that Strom Thurmond's best act was to die.
I think a lot of people say shit about Hitler.
It's nothing. No, I'm not against it. It's just that if I don't know the whole story, I don't know.
What name something that Strom Thurmond did other than dying?
Well, he was a member. I mean, wasn't he a KKK member? Was that Bird? It was Bird, wasn't it?
Bird, I think Bird was. I don't know that Thurmond was ever a KK member, but he probably did attend rallies and he courted the vote for the KKK.
The way Landon said that makes me love Landon a little bit more.
That's not possible. I'm sorry. You cannot love Landon more than infinity. It's not possible.
Oh,
infinity plus more is still infinity.
There's different infinities, Steve. Do we have to go over this? Not all infinities.
Mike is breaking it down.
Countable and uncountable.
Mike has been learning some shit recently. What the hell?
Look, bro, I'm kind of a podcasting big deal right now. I have Landon on my show.
Okay, Mikey, we're in the alpha.
We have to do another show, by the way, Mikey.
Yep, the 23rd. You guys can check out Landon on the Bin podcast.
Macabre, hang on one second. Macabre, $5 Australian. Is it possible to couch the argument in culpability, i.e., if you leave your car unlocked with the keys in the ignition, you're complicit in the theft? You're not complicit because I mean, yes, there's some accountability there, right? But you file the police report. The police report is not going to say, "Look, you're partly responsible for that." Now, the insurance
is negligence complicity?
Not necessarily.
There's a difference between when something that is happening to your property and something that is happening to you. Also.
But like I said, there's two different factors. Legally, if you leave your key in a car and it gets stolen, it's not you have no culpability. But insurance-wise, then you have some culpability, right? Because insurance takes into account what's called partial fault.
Yeah, because insurance is about how responsible are you as a car owner and a driver.
Yeah, that's why you have no fault insurance and partial fault. But yeah.
Well, also, if I may suggest, regarding the video I was talking about in regards to that whole context of that conversation, since most of us have never really watched it, and my memory's a little vague on the top, all the details. Steve, if I find the video and I send it to you, and
I'm not that interested. Cheshire might send it to Cheshire.
I mean, I'm gonna laugh at it. So if you send it to me,
I'm straight up.
There may be consequences.
Macabre for another $2. F off, Mikey. I love Landon the most. It's a Landon love off.
That's why you live. That's why you moved 8,000 miles away, Macabre. Yeah. You loved him so much you went to the opposite side of the planet. Way to show
I think I
your
should have
love
a dance off for
support.
Landon.
And by the way, if you don't know who Strom Thurmond is, look it up. He's somebody whose history he ran for president even.
How do you spell it?
STROM.
What year did he run?
THURMAN.
Yeah.
It's MOND.
What year did
MOND.
ND, yes. Now, by the way, I will also say, if someone says, well, Landon named something positive about Strom Thurmond besides his dying, he had the best constituent services of any historically. If you were somebody that Thurmond cared about and you needed something done, Thurmond got stuff done. Right? He knew how to deliver the goods. But that being said, I think the best thing he did was to die. And that's a sad way to live your life.
I think there are certain people that are probably better off. The best thing they ever accomplished was dying. I have no problem with that. There's some shitty people in the world. There's people that I think if they die in a plane crash, I'd be like, no, it's a good day today.
Landon, you might remember the gentleman's name, but he's like solely responsible for like the most deaths ever because of his I don't know, some patent he had on like leaded fuel.
Oh yeah, the guy that had lead fuel to keep it from pinging. Yeah,
I forget his name, but that guy.
Did he? If I remember correctly, he died of autoerotic asphyxiation, didn't he?
Poetic justice.
I think so. I remember some story like that. Somebody look it up. But I think the guy that invented lead fuel to prevent pinging actually died of a contraption that he designed for autoerotic asphyxiation. Now, again, I don't know why I know this story, so I could be way off on it. But you can Google it.
Yeah, that seems to be a highly risky thing to do. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but it seems like
use with caution.
Okay.
Is one person going to look it up? Is anybody going to look it up? Because I'm not looking this up.
I'm deleting my history right now.
I don't want even my search history. I've got safe search on. I don't want to look up this shit. Serious. I'm not even kidding though. I'm not even kidding. This is a true story. I think to myself, look, if something ever happens to me, and I have people I do have a document on a computer for my daughter. I don't want her going through my search history and finding autoerotic asphyxiation. I don't know, man.
I have my dad's search history and I haven't looked into it yet. I have my mom's search history and I have not looked into it yet.
Mikey, you're the only person I can trust. If I just kick the bucket one day, I need you to find my computer, take it to the top of the Skyway Bridge, and just toss it.
Oh, that's what it was, Macabre. Okay, so he died from his own disability support.
I'll take it to Lake Pontchartrain.
He has some contraption for that's what it was. He has some disability support contraption that he designed for people like wearing casts or something like that. Is that how he died? It was something along those lines. Okay, so who died of autoerotic asphyxiation? Oh, I know a few people. I know
David Carradine.
Carradine did.
Here's the
former president of my college did.
Really?
Oh yeah! Happy birthday, Chesh! Happy 17th birthday.
She's 18.
You're a little late.
17 was last year.
No,
17.
It's 17.
17 plus 1 in Goblin years is 17.
17.
Yep.
Is the Goblin year calendar have different months? Is it like different length of months?
No, it's Booyog.
Booyog. That's not a word.
It's a Goblin word.
You're a goblin.
Wow, you language speciesist, you prescriptivist.
You.
Yeah.
Booyog. Do you guys want to know what Booyog means?
What does it mean?
Magic. It's a word for magic. So anybody who's like a wizard or a sorcerer or even like a goblin shaman would be called Booyog.
What's the origin of that? What language?
Somebody made it up.
Or no, what was it? Was it an author? Was it a came right from a folklore? What's the origin of that word?
It's from Wizards of the Coast. It's actually the word listed. If you look at the monster manual and you pull up goblins, it's Booyog is one of them, and the other one is Briarch, which is the equivalent supposedly of I surrender.
So, I remember Santa Jacob says the singer from NXS died from autoerotic asphyxiation. I don't remember that. I remember NXS, but
that actor did too. The guy who played Bill in Kill Bill.
Yeah, David Carradine. We already said that. Keep up.
Yeah. The fuck was that?
It's her birthday.
All right, let's play this game. Let's play this game. Who's the most likely to die of autoerotic asphyxiation in here?
Not it.
Reds.
Okay, I'll go for Reds.
Let's all vote for Reds and just be done with this. I do not want to talk about
He's so tall. He's going to misjudge and shit.
Apparently it might be Mikey.
No,
I mean, you know what? Fuck it. I'll accept that.
Take it.
See?
Fall on the sword.
So here's the reason. Do you want my reasoning as to why it would be Reds?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Sure. I think that's her height, but sure.
That's the part where she slides over a little bit, breaks up the whiteboard, and like, listen,
How
I'm about
details.
to explain
How is this going to work here? What is he doing here? Yeah.
You know that meme with the board and the everything?
Yeah. Okay, so the reason behind it is
Get the
Reds
red
is
yarn
probably
out.
the most vanilla motherfucker on the planet, so he would try it and fail and accidentally kill himself the first time.
I have a feeling Reds is one of those people that thinks missionary style is wild.
With donkeys, though.
If that's what we're talking about, then put me back on the list.
Okay, Mikey's back. Mikey's back on. His potential there.
I'm very vanilla.
Really?
Vanilla.
You don't have any freak in you, dude?
Nah, I ain't got time for that shit. I'm busy, man. I got shit to do.
When it gets time for
I
that.
get it. You just like, you know what? Get it done. Move on to other things, right?
I just have so much
God.
And when you
mind
asked
on
her
a
to
day-to-day
marry you, and she
basis.
still said yes, that's a keeper.
So,
Or she's like, or she's really
Okay.
into time saving, I guess. You know.
so I
It's
still
kind of
have
like a Red's chest moment where it's like, I'm not sure why she's still here, and I can't quite figure it out.
Or she
So I
hasn't
figured
slept with you
I'd
yet.
put it
That's
right on.
possible.
Okay, so
That is
listen to this.
also that could be part of it.
Could be.
I have the Strom thing still pulled up, and I just glanced over at it, and this is what caught my eye. In opposition to the Civil Rights Act of 1957, opposition,
Yes.
he conducted the longest speaking filibuster ever by a lone senator at 24 hours and 18
Oh, I do
minutes
remember
in
something like
length.
that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a lot of hate.
That's a
In the
lot of
19
words. I mean, you're only for a filibuster.
What's
You have to
worse
keep
is what he
talking.
said during that time.
And you're only
I
allowed
can
a
only
certain.
imagine.
You only allowed a certain amount of time for pee breaks. I mean, you literally have to keep talking no matter what it was. You could read anything. You could read War and Peace if you wanted to, I guess. But I mean, you continually have to fucking make some kind of argument and say stuff for like the entire time. That's
He
ridiculous.
In
didn't
the
run out of
night-
vitriol. He had plenty of vitriol. He could have gone for a longer time.
Wow.
Going to do.
In the 1960s, he opposed the civil rights legislation of 1964 and 1965 to end segregation and enforce the constitutional rights of African American citizens, including basic suffrage. Despite being a pro-segregation Dixiecrat, he insisted he was not a racist, but was opposed.
Some of Strom Thurmond's best friends were black. That's what he said.
Oh!
I find that weird because I was in New York a few years ago, and this one guy, he used to be a correctional officer. He knew somebody in the South who was black, who voted for a Dixiecrat only because that person was the only one who was openly honest, whereas in the others were just very pretentious.
Yeah.
That's a
Chester,
shitty reason to vote for somebody.
You're
That's an
finishing your
interesting, yeah.
so you finish your reading there?
Sorry, he was not a racist, but
But
However,
According to Dr. Phil, but forget everything that I just said, and now.
What's the caveat?
but was opposed to excessive federal authority, which he attributed to communist agitators.
So basically,
yes, because you know he somebody said that Dr. King was a communist trying to destroy the American way of life.
So
guys,
wouldn't this, Trash? Wouldn't this be very similar?
Well, it begs the question: what is the American way?
Hang on, wouldn't this be very similar if somebody said, "Look, I am very much against gay marriage. I don't think two men should ever be together, but I'm not homophobic."
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the exact same thing as what is. We don't even need to go to that. We can just stick with the current Black Lives Matter stuff.
Yeah, but that's part of the problem. Is this stuff is not.
Black people are saying they're killed by cops more? You communists.
Yeah, and you know, because he, for example, one of the things he was found to say was that Rosa Parks received support of known communists and socialists.
So what?
So yeah, here's the thing.
I wonder why.
Why would that matter?
so here's my favorite thing is the argument of, well, cops kill way more white people than black people. I'm like, and y'all are cool with that? Like, what the fuck? All so bad. Like, what are you saying? That is not a good argument.
I was talking to my friends.
There's a really, really big problem of racism within the police force. There's also a really, really big problem with the police force not being held accountable for its actions, no matter
Exactly.
who's getting.
That's the thing, eh? So I was discussing this whole Black Lives Matter and where it started from, this whole incident where it started from with one of my friends, and they were like, well, that guy was a bad guy. He had a criminal history. I'm like, okay, even though if he had a criminal history, their only job was to de-escalate the situation. That's it. And if you're going over extra after that by harming that individual whom you're supposed to subdue and capture, then yeah, there's a problem. The
only thing a cop is supposed to be doing is picking me up, putting me in the car, and taking me in front of a judge.
Serving and protecting.
No. Actually, they don't even have to do that. New York said that the police don't have to. They have no obligation to actually serve and protect.
Right.
Yeah,
problem.
Because people had sued because they were in a subway or a train and crimes were being committed, and they didn't do anything, and they sued, and they're like, well, we don't have an obligation to actually intervene.
There was a cop that tweeted out. So I guess there's some kind of protection for cops in America that says if they essentially if they break your rib, you can't sue them.
Yeah, it's called what is it called?
Qualified immunity.
Qualified immunity. Yeah, thank you.
Red said it first, but then I said it loud.
Yeah, Steve was too busy talking over him. I couldn't hear
I can hear Red.
I don't remember what it's called. If I just think out loud, maybe.
It's not your birthday, Mikey. I don't have to keep it around here.
I would also say in terms of something that my former senator Barbara Boxer talked about was being sexually assaulted by Strom Thurmond in the Senate elevator. The
original elevator gate.
Yeah, and that she went on the floor and spoke about it. It's on a congressional record. And the comment was, well, but boys will be boys type of thing.
Oh,
and Thurman is one of those, old folks, and he didn't really mean it. It's been.
Can you imagine that happened now in 2020?
I'm serious.
I know. But can you imagine if that did happen now in 2020?
It does happen now in 2020.
Yeah, what about that guy who was on the swimming team that fucking Brock, what's his name, was Brock?
Oh yeah,
yeah. The judge tried to dismiss his case by saying, "Oh, he's a guy who was caught up in a bad."
21. He's only 25.
And I was like, "What the fuck?" Sorry.
I don't think his whole life should be ruined because of this act.
I will tell you that
he gave anxiety and depression to someone and violated their bodily autonomy.
Well, I mean,
so we're talking about he assaulted a United States senator in the elevator, going to the floor. She went to the floor and talked about it. And Thurman came back and said, well, I was not really engaging in inappropriate behavior. I was merely showing genuine
curiosity
in assisting the senator in the elevator.
There you go.
Okay, so
that is the ultimate in rape apologetics. He was rape.
Right?
I'm sure that if
to practice that curiosity, whatever, like you still need consent, you motherfucker.
I am going to head off here and say hi, Chesh. Happy 17th birthday. But unfortunately, I'm starting to get a rumblies in my tumbly, so I gotta eat food, otherwise I die. So I'll talk to you all.
Go vampire, get your blood.
Nice.
He's got to go drink all those flat Earth tears.
Yeah.
Okay, I got
what's in here.
Go ahead.
One of the posts that I had read that said that boys will be boys is a term you're supposed to use when your 10-year-old puts mayonnaise on the slip and slide instead of water. Not, they've assaulted.
I gotta go do something real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, my dad used to use this thing. He used to talk about back in his day. They would dip, I don't know if that exactly happened, but dip the girls' ponytails in ink. You heard that little story?
Yeah.
That was like the way to. There's harmless stuff that happens that kids do. Right? Not everything is some kind of assault.
It's not assault. So, and the other one I saw was a cop, because of the immunity. They were saying that, if this goes away, I'm not going to respond to any calls that are non-violent, non-emergency calls, like, you're being too loud and parking infringements and stuff. And everybody's response to that was, good! We don't want you there!
It was very startling that in Atlanta, when they held a cop accountable for shooting somebody unjustly, all of the cops on the next shift either called in or said that they weren't listening to their radio.
Yeah,
the blue flu,
because they're scared that they will get caught up in something similar, and then they won't have anyone back in them.
It's worse. It's worse than that. It's them standing. You're right. It's them standing in solidarity.
Yeah,
it's them standing in solidarity and being pissed off that one of their own was held accountable for his actions.
Yeah, which I don't understand at all. I don't understand why you would be in any organization that has that kind of group mentality.
So I saw a really good comparison, and because it works in two ways. One of the comparisons was, you don't see, if there's somebody assaulting children, you don't see, and so that person gets fired, you don't see teachers all just not showing up to work. They're all good.
Right.
be safe. And the other one is where you do see stuff like this, where you do see children getting assaulted and getting hidden, or people getting moved districts, is the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing to note is police culture is entirely different and
Shouldn't be a thing.
Outsiders.
Police culture should not be a thing.
I disagree with you. I mean, I have no problem with every group has some kind of culture to it, and everything has, they have, things that they revere, and I don't have a problem with that. But I do have a problem with
I disagree with that entirely. The only culture that they should have should be related to whatever community they're serving.
Well, that might be fine too. I mean, sure, it can be incorporated, but I mean, the military. Hang on.
But then it's not police culture.
But the military has a culture, right? The military has a culture.
Yeah, you guys are talking two different uses of culture.
The military is a problem.
No, I don't think it is at all.
Yeah, Mikey has something to say. I think it's important.
Yeah, I think you guys are using two different uses of culture because, for the business that I work for, I have changed the culture of my department because I need my people to be professional, to be on time, to be courteous. That is a culture that I am setting. And it's the same thing.
I would call that a standard, not a culture.
No. We call it a culture in retail too. If people foster look, you're allowed to be late. You show up, you're late for your shift. You're not prepared for the stuff.
You treat people like shit.
Right. We would call that. We would call that the culture. Yeah, we would say like the culture of the department.
Yeah, this is just a semantical difference. Where I'm from, because I'm from a different country, we would call that a standard, not a culture.
Yeah.
Hey, Mikey, fucking Canadians, man. Just deal with it.
Tell me about it.
Well, Chesh, you have to also take this in consideration. These people who are working in the police force, they work long shifts, and the only people they have interaction with most of the time is either people in uniform or their brothers.
Well, that's kind of a problem. They should be working with the community.
Well, that's the problem. The community in general does not really trust them. So that's
why?
Oh, no.
Why don't they trust them?
Wait, people don't trust the police? Please, really? Shocking.
Is it possible that the people don't trust the police because the police have segregated themselves by interacting with only them and themselves?
It's possible. That's one of the reasons. The other is police do not trust outsiders. Particularly the police subculture does not trust outsiders outside of that particular framework.
No, I think the outsiders don't trust the police because the police
it goes both ways.
Yeah, I mean,
which is why it's
exactly,
a negative feedback loop. It's a negative feedback loop of bullshit. But
there are ways out of it. There are definitely. I mean, there are police forces that are very active in the community. Right? They don't try to pull this us versus them mentality. They don't try to escalate things. There are some decent cops out there and decent precincts. But I think that's a minority any longer. I really think that's a minority.
I have a Cheshire question for everybody. Are all cops bad?
No.
What do you mean? Do you mean like?
Oh, I'm not giving you shit. You didn't give me nothing. I'm giving you nothing.
Right. Then I'm going to say we're talking in America, though, right?
Well, even in America,
worldwide.
We'll do America.
In America, I'm going to go with yes. Now, I am going to qualify that. I'm going to qualify that by saying the individuals may be good people, but the system is such a big problem and it is so broken within as the police that essentially if you're a cop, you're following what you guys are using is culture and shitty rules and following a completely
I don't think that follows because there's so many different types of police cultures and precincts.
That's a bad thing, though. That's part of the problem.
I don't necessarily think so.
There needs to be a minimum standard,
but again, we're confusing standards with cultures, and that's a semantic issue.
Well, then there needs to be a minimum culture. There needs to be a minimum culture of a minimum expectation. Let's call it an expectation. There needs to be an expectation from
professionalism.
Well, that's fine. Yeah, no, I agree with that. But Mikey, look, the Army culture is different from the Navy culture, is different from the Marine culture. They're all three very different cultures. I'm not saying one's better than the other, but that's when we're talking about cultures. We're talking about the norms that we are using in a particular group that we are used to using.
Norms of or negative.
And they can be positive or negative. Cultures can be positive or negative.
I agree. I agree with that. But I'm saying if they are negative, then if you're part of the police, you are a bad cop because being a cop has a negative connotation because the police have created a negative standard.
Then that's the problem, because then you don't have any good cops becoming, using them as the role model to try to have change from inside. If you say that all cops are bad, then you cannot have a good cop trying to change the culture.
That all cops have to be bad.
They could get better.
Kawasa, super chat real quick. Kawasa for 10,000 says, "Happy birthday, Cheshire is always right." So Kawasa's simping. Okay, simp. Zip it for Cheshire.
George also makes a really good point. George said, if you're not part of the culture, you get shunned, and this is in the police.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Nani.
A good cop get to be a good cop, or a good cop get to change the culture. Even if you're in a position of authority, sometimes you can't change the culture because the people under you, they're just hell-bent on following the old rules, or as they say, they're old school. So yeah, it happens in our occupational culture.
You know what? Manya is right. Manya is always right. I'm simping for her.
I just like to add a little more flavor. Not flavor. I just want to add a little more to it. In regards to the outsider as well as cop culture issue, particularly the mistrust that goes both ways that Mike brought up. And this is purely just from what I studied from administration justice way back. The other issue is the communities that are victimized by crime, there are instances where they do not report it. So that's another issue.
I think that's another issue, but I don't think it has to directly do with this issue. Because in those areas where people don't report crimes, it's because they're usually poverty-stricken areas, and you might have to do what you have to do to get what you need done. So do you really want cops poking around your house looking for other shit when you're calling them to say that your such and such was stolen? Absolutely.
Or cops are planting shit on you.
Yeah, but there's something.
If you have to hustle to make ends meet and you got a bunch of drugs in your house, you're not calling the cops because you're
right. There's something to be said by there's a rule in the United States, and I don't know if it has to do with but there's something called in plain sight rule. And if the police come to your house, if you call them for something, and they come to your house and they see something in plain sight, it can be used against you. Period. Fourth Amendment doesn't cover that, right, Mikey?
It should cover it, but it doesn't because they fucking give cops all kinds of bullshit ins and outs to do.
A cop can straight up lie to you too. There's no obligation for a cop to tell you the truth about anything. None.
That is why, and the day I learned that is the day that I have nothing to say to a cop.
And that's a perfect response, by the way. I totally get that. The less you say, the better off you are, because a cop will straight up lie to you. And they're allowed to do it.
If you got to take me to jail because I won't tell you anything, then just take me to jail because I didn't tell you anything. But you're not going to take me to jail because I said, yes, I drove down Main Street. And then they said that there was a carjacking on Main Street.
Yeah, don't say a goddamn thing.
I'm not saying fucking anything.
Yeah.
Which brings two other issues. One being a cop should not be able to arrest you for not complying to a cop's orders alone because they have to have a reason to be there in the first place. Secondly, they should
do that ad hoc.
Right, exactly. And that's bullshit.
Yeah.
So the next right, because they cite that as, oh, well, you're not complying with a police officer to get out of your car, but the police officer hasn't given you a reason to pull you over in the first place. They're basically allowed to arrest you for not listening to them when they're breaking your rights.
Yeah. So for anybody who's listening and has any kind of auditor genes or anybody who thinks that they're just going to argue with cops on the side of the road and do yourself a favor and do me a favor. Stand up for your rights, but if this cop is clearly not going to respect your rights as a citizen, just let them do whatever they're going to do and survive the encounter.
Yeah, you're not going to win. You're less likely.
I think that's wise.
Yeah.
That's wise.
Gotta treat them like a baboon.
Because your best case scenario when it happens to you is for you to hopefully get a bankroll at the end of it because you're just going to have to go through the shit.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, you are not going to win this because they
Also,
have
yeah.
every single law on the book to protect them, and they're illegal and unconstitutional behavior.
Yeah,
so
we're
your
gonna have
best
to have
bet
a
is to
OT
just
lawyer come
get
in one of these
back.
days and talk about that. I think that'd be a really good
Which
topic.
actually ends up to the second issue, and the second issue is education. You are not educated in America about what are and are not your rights. You need to know those things. Those are things
we are. I am. I know my
classes.
rights.
You might be, but I'm talking about.
No, Mikey
you're
knows his
talking-
rights. He's been read them enough, right?
Right, but you had
know
to do
better.
that on your own.
They ask me anything, and I got nothing to say to them. So they ain't read me shit.
Well, Mike, I want to touch on a little bit on the issue, particularly what you mentioned about the poverty-stricken areas.
Touch me.
Yeah, don't swing that way, dude.
touch me. I want to feel dirty.
But regarding the poverty-stricken areas, I think that's primarily the issue that gives rise to the issues. Is the poverty-strickenness that needs to be addressed primarily.
Well, there's a class.
think
issue that is compounded by racism.
I think once you take care,
it's compounded by racism.
Once the economics get okay, hold on one second. Once the economics get worked out, and people aren't allowed to be greedy anymore. Well, not this greedy anymore. A lot of this goes away.
Yes,
that's probably true, but it's a lot
Not
more
in
entrenched
education.
than just greed.
Well, a lot of the systemic parts of what is systemic racism that is currently being the way it's currently being phrased and utilized is that these are old laws that caused a class separation and unfairly, due to racism, put a majority of Black people in the poverty area, put them unfairly in that section. Now, those laws, the majority, I don't want to say the majority, a lot of the laws, such as redlining, are no longer legal. That's not a thing you're allowed to do anymore. But gated communities are still a thing. But there are still like smaller, little racially charged rules that aren't technically racist, but are basically racist.
Most of America's large cities are still basically segregated at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
But hang on. Okay, wait. That's true, but that's not necessarily. That's not.
And it has nothing to do with whether people want to live in certain places. Just
right.
But that's a natural segregation. That's not such. That's not
no.
Like. There are. Oh, come on. There are people that actually do naturally segregate.
And the social housing is a big contribution to that. And there was a study. I think so. There's a guy who studied how social housing contributed towards segregation and income gap between.
I think that's true in a lot of in some cases. Matter of fact, obviously in the projects that was a huge consideration. Sure, Golden.
Redlining.
But then it gets into But then it gets into generational wealth.
Correct.
So if you live in one area,
as the next one, me and Monty are going to the same place.
I think everybody's on the same page on that.
So if you have that extra money to now pass on to your kids, and now they don't have to worry about things, and then so then those areas stay inaccessible to certain areas, to certain people.
Real quick, we got Stone Bud in here if he wants to add something in here. I wasn't ignoring him. Hey, Bud.
Howdy, how's it going?
Good, buddy.
Happy birthday, Cheshire.
Thank you.
Through the ears. There you go.
I did have something to add. I read I heard somewhere that even if we like fixed all the class issues with minority communities, there would still be that divide because upward mobility is basically non-existent. If you're born poor, you're going to die poor.
That's completely false. It's on the rise, actually.
Yeah,
upward mobility is a thing.
Not really.
Upward mobility is a thing, but what is upward? Upward is changing also. So people are making more money, but that more money isn't still keeping up with inflation, and it's still not as much as it needs to be for it to be meaningful.
Inflation and cost of living.
Yep.
Yeah, cost of living and all that shit. So people are making more money, and Black families are getting better and better and better, but they're not keeping up.
Exactly.
It's not that they're doing better than they have in the past, but it's not.
Yeah, I would say they're doing better, but
it's
it's a very slow rate of change.
Yeah.
Slower than the inflation, I guess that's what we could say.
Hey, what's up, my finished journey? What's up, bud? Nice of you to join us. Been a while. You have to unmute.
Hello.
Unmute your face.
Hello.
You'll figure it out.
I do have somebody mentioned Mr. GPT 2010 said, no matter how you slice it at the end of the day, it's the citizens' fault for constantly electing people who allow this to happen. So I have two questions.
Not really.
I
agree.
Can you name somebody who was actually able to be president? So obviously you can't name Bernie Sanders because they kicked him out in a two-party system. Is there somebody that the people could have voted for to be president, so out of the two, in the last 5 years that would have made things better?
Yeah, Hillary Clinton.
That they didn't vote for.
Oh.
Look, I think that all the presidential candidates are shit. I don't know why, out of all the millions of people we have.
Candidate for president that would have actually made things better.
None.
Rephrase the question because I don't think I understood.
Okay, so is there anybody that you could think of that could have been voted in?
Yang, maybe? Andrew Yang?
No.
Nah,
As president, they had to have made it to that presidential election.
Yang didn't. That's true.
Jill Stein, probably.
Yeah,
Jill Stein.
She is that
not just maintained?
Green.
Is she the
Party.
HP? Is she the HPCU? No, who was that?
She was the Green Party
Green
candidate
Party
in
candidate.
2016.
2016.
Yeah.
In to be fair, Hillary Clinton in the 2016 election won the popular vote. So even
not by much.
Trump didn't win it, but still.
3 million votes is still not insignificant.
There's a couple of percent difference in there.
Yeah, but
another one that people point to was the Al Gore Bush thing, where Al Gore lost or won depending on how you counted Florida. And
you're talking about hanging chads?
Yeah, and some people think that would have been a case where they claimed that the country would be better off.
Florida?
Yeah. So, but the question is would the country
Florida man votes 3 million times?
Would the country be better off only in climate change, or would the country be better off in this inflation class/racism issue? Would he have actually done anything to benefit when it came to corporation?
I'm pretty sure a candidate that would be addressing climate change would also be addressing, problem with systemic racism.
And I think George W. Bush's tenure in office and the whole problems that came from that were resulting even in terms of, you talk about in terms of the issue of problem of racism. I think it was hard to have been worse than W.
I feel like if you're gonna blame that, you have to almost go all the way back. Like if you're gonna talk about blaming people for not voting the right people in, you'd almost have to go further back than Reagan.
Carter.
Oh yeah.
Ford.
Well,
Andrew Jackson
for a long time. I mean, Andrew Jackson. The fact that he's still on our $20 bill.
He got impeached.
So
no, that's Andrew Johnson.
One thing that's overlooked a lot is I know the presidential election is big and shiny and everybody can't wait for it every 4 years, but local elections are so important.
I think those are way more important almost at this point.
I'm a big believer in grassroots local elections. Huge.
So sheriffs and
we
county boards.
If they want to admit it, we have an ex-mayor. We literally have an ex-mayor in the room right now.
Yeah, and so you're right, Mikey. It's so important, and this is one of the things that I am openly critical of TJ, who he didn't get his candidate, so he decided to stay home and blah blah, and he objected to people saying, but no, he had a senator to vote for, he had a member of Congress to vote for, he had political issues in his state. Yeah, he's a political coward, and
he does vote down ballot, and he has advocated voting for Joe Biden.
He stated that he stayed home on the general election because
and he regrets that.
Would we then
and he needs
too late now, isn't it?
It's too late now.
So would we then?
Well, he's currently advocating people to go out and vote for Joe Biden.
So
he's had discussions.
No, but that's the whole point. It's not just about the presidential election.
Yeah, it's about the local elections too.
So when you want pressure from the states on the Fed, you need good people statewide to help push that.
Governors too.
Don't
Especially
care
governors.
about who's in the state, who's taking care of, like, you can't complain about, man, you know, the DMV really is a piece of shit and it just takes forever to, who is your Secretary of State?
Right. So
Who's in charge of that? Who's the person that's supposed to be spearheading this? Did you vote for them? Do you know their platform? Do you know what they stand on? What is their record? What do they do? Okay, cool. If you don't know, then shut up. You don't get to complain.
Kawasa says for 5,001. Landon is always right too.
The argument
is there anybody not right in here?
The argument.
I make mistakes. I made a mistake on your thing about that the 0.999 equals 1. I did.
Oh my God! You make
made
one minor math mistake that was just basically a notation error. The same thing I did, goddamn, this morning. I made a simple error, even though I got it right, but I messed up somewhere else down the line. But it's just like, but that's what somebody says. Look, you made a mistake here, and you go, oh shit, I fixed it. No?
Yeah. So that's important that you be able to admit mistakes. You and I know there's somebody who has made a mistake on logic and can't admit it.
More than one.
So the argument
but I know
is
you refer to. But I'm not going to say.
Essentially what everybody is saying here is that the best bet is there is too much focus put on the presidential election and people need to focus more on their local government and mayors and governors and focus on those because those are the ones that are going to matter for making
school district
the future and district all the way, and then that will make the change upwards.
Well, Republicans absolutely depend on voter apathy.
Well, also local elections play a partial role, but also educating the general populace is.
Well, education is a whole nother shebang. Yeah.
No, I'm not talking like public education or anything like that. I mean actually advocate, like activist type education, like go on the streets, engaging with people, be like, hey, here's the problem, and here's the reasons why, and here's why it needs to go.
People, it's easy to recognize a problem. It's much harder to come up with a solution, and I think that's our failure in our political system. Is I'm sorry, we don't have any politicians that know how to fix shit.
So there are actually two things that I think. Sorry,
let's just say real quick. The only ways certain things to fix shit are what politicians don't want. For example, I swear to God, there is absolutely no reason why we can't get rid of things like earmarks. We cannot get rid of things like riders. We can abolish the electoral goddamn college. These things are actually things that would actually make a difference, but politicians don't want them. It's not the American people. It's the politicians don't want them.
That's where you have to make the politicians go along with.
But how do you do that? In order to get into office, you have to play the game to some degree, because they're not going to get, like, for example, let me give you an example, Stephen, real quick. For example, we interviewed what's his name? Adam Kokesh, right? And Adam Kokesh ran for. He's a true blue libertarian, right? Yeah, he was running for president. We interviewed him, and the question I asked him was this. And by the way, if you go to Wikipedia, this actually is citation on Wikipedia. This very episode. So I had asked him about voluntarism and how do you expect to like pay for certain stuff, you know? But the other thing I asked him was that got noted. Look, how do you get elected to the electoral college if you're running on the platform you want to abolish the electoral college? They're not going to vote you in to lose their stature, their jobs and stuff like that. It's not going to happen. He's like, well, but I'm going to get in and I'm going to be moved. Just abolish the electoral college. I'm like, but you need their vote to get in. The popular vote doesn't matter shit.
And I think, Steve, what you're saying is that how can you get elected president if you have to tell the bottom 2/3 states you need to you need to commit political suicide,
right? Because they're not going to have representation.
Yeah, exactly. and so the problem is that the system is such that it's built into whatnot. You have to be something extraordinary in order to shift.
You need a whole revamp, because,
state.
like you said, the whole reason for the electoral college is to make sure that these states have some representations, right?
Yeah.
And so
we have the Senate for that.
Well, the Senate is only 2 per state. I mean, that's sure, but the House obviously doesn't work that way, right? So
disproportionate representation.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of disproportionate representation.
You would essentially need a coalition of people running for office that were actually, like, if all of the politicians said they were going to disband the electoral college,
I'm okay with that.
No, there is.
I remember
There's a
remember
compact.
this thing about a coalition of states where if they get enough of these states together, that they would
So McGregor's is correct. It's a compact that says that the states have said if enough states agree, then all these states will vote the way the popular vote votes. Because the Constitution leaves it up to each state and DC to determine how their electors are selected. So a state could say, by law, whoever wins the popular vote nationally gets our electors, right? And so no state wanted to do that on their own. So they basically had a set of states saying, hey, if enough people do it, we'll do this, right? I don't know where we are in that coalition. That would certainly be constitutional. The problem is that there are a number of states that fear if that happens, they become irrelevant. Who would want to campaign in Wyoming or in Delaware or in South Dakota if they didn't matter as far as the popular vote goes? They're so small that they would be ignored. So they would argue in order to have a say in who's president, they need to have the electoral colleges with.
They would need electoral college, or they would need another system in its place. Just removing the electoral college puts a vacuum for people in those states.
Yeah, no, but that's
the argument. I'm not advocating, just the argument.
Yeah, I'm not saying you are. It goes back to the old trope, was like when equality feels like oppression. No, they're being actually treated fairly. There's not enough of them to have the weight that they have. They shouldn't have ever had it. And now that someone's threatening to take it away, like you're saying, Landon, 1,000%, they're going to be like, oh, hell no, electoral college stays. We like having our heavy voice here. You don't deserve a fucking heavy voice when you have less than 100,000 people in your entire state. And the city next door to me has 95,000 people.
By the way, it looks
like Iowa caucus, New Hampshire primary.
You don't deserve that voice.
It looks like they removed our reference from Adam Kokas's page. That kind of sucks.
Get some wine because I'm not going for my football match in the evening.
There's actually two problems that coincide with when it comes to electing locally, and the two problems is the work week, and that you're not allowed to talk. Supposedly, it's unprofessional to talk about politics at work. When you spend 40 hours a week in a place, that is so much of your time when you have to spend another 8 hours sleeping when you're not in that place. The amount of time that you're at home to have these conversations is minimal at best.
So, Chesh, I have to say that when I was in office, I had to pull on a 40-hour a week job, and I put in about 60 hours into my political office. Moreover, when you have vacation, right? The vacation on your job, you need to go up to Sacramento or to Washington, D.C. to advocate for stuff. And so you're spending your vacation on one job to do other job works and vice versa. But that being said, the people who are locally elected that work there tend to care about it. They're more answerable.
Right.
And those people don't do it as a career. They do it as a community service.
I'm saying it compounds the problem when people who aren't in office are working a 40-hour work week. And when are they going to go home when they have maybe 4 hours that they get to spend with their families, with whoever, doing whatever hobbies they have? What are they going to do? Talk about politics? And you're not allowed to talk.
Hell yeah. Get on YouTube, make yourself a damn podcast.
Hey, speaking of podcasts, Mikey, do you know where our podcast? Do you know where the Non Sequitur Show podcast is actually mentioned in Wikipedia?
Where?
Is it at patreon.com /
Trevor Val, Trevor Val, which is the paleontologist. On his page, he is credited as the 2019 Non Sequitur Show podcast. It's one of the credits. So we are mentioned. We are mentioned in Wikipedia.
Are you sure it's not www.patreon.com / thebinpodcast?
Are you sure?
That's a URL you should check out.
Me on my birthday, Mikey.
You're shilling yourself on her birthday. What's Cheshire's Patreon again?
It's www.patreon.com / thebinpodcast. That's how you give Cheshire money for her birthday.
Don't put my Patreon.
Since I did a recent show on someone else's channel, not to be named, on civics, one of the things I would recommend is that you consider volunteering for boards and commissions. In your town, There's probably a library board, a park and rec. There's things about stuff related to planning commission, about heritage commission, about housing and services. These are various things that you could volunteer for. And I would be surprised if in your community, all those board members even filled. Just showing up and showing some interest in some area, a volunteer, you can do a lot for your community just in terms of volunteering.
Just a heads up, though, by the way, about Patreon, I have a bunch of stuff going up today and tomorrow if you guys are interested.
Ooh, nice.
Any merch?
On merch? No, this is just Patreon stuff.
I mean, like, would you like have Cheshire ear puppies?
These aren't mine. Somebody I didn't make these. I'm not selling these. Somebody sent them to me.
You know, it was so funny. It landed the other day. We had a hangout, and Cheshire made this really awesome, and I'm not just blowing smoke up her ass. This was fucking cool. She made a really cool Stargate.
I can pull it up.
Yeah,
I've got it.
Yeah, pull it up and show. I mean, it was really fucking amazing. And so
why don't you pull it up and show it real quick?
I was on a video feed, and I showed it to people, right? And I find out later that supposedly Cheshire now she hated my guts or something like that. We were having this massive fight. I'm like, but wait, I just talked to her promoting her stuff right here. What the hell are you people talking about? It's weird. It's the weirdest fucking thing in the internet. I don't understand it. It's like
the internet's the Twilight Zone, Steve. That's why.
So you're going to show this gate thing, or you're looking for it?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up.
Okay.
It was like exactly the same time. People were telling me the rumor going around. I'm like, what?
Oh yes. Oh, this is beautiful.
Is that cool as shit? No, that's not the one I was even looking at though. That's Andromeda. That's the.
Oh right, you wanted the Stargate one.
Yeah, Stargate. Yeah.
Oh.
Is that Kevin Sorbo in the middle?
Yes, Kevin Sorbo. Yeah.
Yes, Kevin Sorbo. Yeah.
Disappointed.
Yeah, he's like super right wing now.
Yeah,
That's
he turned into a total
He's
wingnut.
still good in Andromeda. Hold on, I'll pull up the Stargate one.
God, did he turn into a wingnut?
Is it bad that a lot of people who have taken a horrible turn?
Right?
Check out Patreon, guys.
Dude, I was listening to Will Smith talk about God the other day, and I'm thinking, dude, when the hell did you become such a goddamn nutter? He's like, we should, America doesn't need to elect anybody who doesn't believe in God. I'm like, is this what? I was like, is he?
Yo,
this is not a
They're not people who don't believe in a God. It's like telling them that they're somehow not.
I didn't know if he was serious or not. I thought he was like acting or something.
No, it's strange that like people don't really understand the indoctrination that blacks have to go through in this country.
It's ridiculous, dude. I mean, I was really taken aback by that.
It's deeper than you think.
Someone coming from your community and believing in Bible. Can I make that statement? Like, seriously?
It's deeper. It's deeper than a lot of people understand.
I would love
there's a lot of stuff of the movement coming out of the churches and the expectation that you're going to work with the churches as part of the community services, community centers that were permitted. Because if you had a bunch of people that were the wrong color gathering together, that was a riot. If they're in church, you could pass.
Okay. That's something.
That kind of reminds me of back in some areas where they weren't allowed to dance, and so they just kind of covered it up by saying it was martial art. Are you weren't allowed? Wait.
What are you talking about, folks?
No, they covered up by doing martial art. They weren't allowed to do martial arts, so they covered up by doing dance. That's what it was.
They called them juke joints.
Yeah. There you go. So I mean, this is pretty badass, man.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, this is a badass picture, man. It really looks like them. It fucking totally looks like them.
Wow. This is
Chesh, we gotta talk after this.
I thought Chesh could just make goblins. I didn't realize she could actually do this kind of art.
I adore her goblin illustrations, like especially of that one with the pancake. Like
no, she just does goblins holding a sign and then she changes
knight in armor. Yeah, that was so cool.
She just does goblin holding a sign and then she changes the sign. She doesn't know how to draw. Hold on, let me. I gotta turn my camera on for a second. Don't look at my avatar. It's
Yeah, that one.
Ooh.
Hey.
Don't look at my
avatar. Yeah.
Cute goblin.
And then it also looks like one of those Plants vs. Zombie.
Where did that come from?
Maybe it is.
I did this one. I didn't share that. This one is going on Patreon tonight, so I'll give you guys a sneak peek of this one.
Ooh, yes.
He's peeking the snake.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's good.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That's Manya.
Wow.
That's Manya. I can see it.
Manya's got it going on, yeah. It's almost like an Irish, like if Manya actually was from Ireland.
Wait, Manya's not from Ireland?
Or Scotland.
Or Scotland, yeah.
I'm learning a lot today.
This is so beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was this one's that cheap one. So that's it. If you want to see, this is the reference photo.
Yo, I'm trying to get like Teal'c.
wow.
That's my problem. That's my goal for the end of 2021 is I'm going to be like Teal'c.
Nice. Here, I'll put this up here so you guys can see both at the same time.
I'm trying to get some gains.
You can get buff.
Yeah, bro.
You gonna get that,
You have a
that weird
lift, bro?
chest burster thing that he has?
I'm going to be fucking diesel AF, and then motherfuckers can shut the fuck up when they talk to me.
The thing that makes this one look a little bit less like him right now is because I have the forehead a little bit too wide because it like narrows up a little bit. I should pull that in. And also his eyes are really dark. So because I don't have the shading or anything in there, it doesn't quite look quite right.
Yeah,
That's why.
You should go, Mikey. You should go. Ever watch SWAT?
Yeah.
Moore, the guy, the lead guy.
Oh, Shamar Moore.
Shamar Moore. That dude is hot.
He's the black Ken
That
doll.
dude is straight up sexy as fuck. I gotta tell you, I'm straight.
What's homeboy's
But I'm
name
telling
from,
you, that's the look that you should go for, dude.
No, I got you.
Well, like also, you might also want to like build up your speed as well. And
How many years would it take for you to be like that? By the way.
Not long.
Yeah.
It probably you'd be surprised. It probably wouldn't take him that long.
Dude, have you seen that dude?
bro.
That guy is ripped, man. He is like one good-looking dude. I'm just saying.
Boris Koji. That's what I'm talking about.
I believe
You
in
know
like,
Boris Koji? Yeah, dude. Like, I already have an addictive personality trait. Like, if I got into working out,
Yeah.
it wouldn't take very long.
I like to work out. I used to work out in high school and the military. And by the way, I could tell you right now, had I not been in such good shape going into the Navy, I would have died. But I mean, I used to swim laps and I used to weight lift. I was pretty ripped. And then I just after like a few years and being in the Navy, I was like, oh, this shit sucks. I just kind of stopped. But I used to love to work out.
Steve, I've had a six-pack since I was 16.
Well, I've got a 16-pack.
I got a K.
I got beer guts.
But
So.
I mean, no, I understand the adrenaline and things to work out. I totally get it. My thing is, it's not that I'm lazy and I don't want to work out. Is I'm too lazy to go somewhere to work out. And if I had the equipment here, like I had some barbells and I used to weight lift with those, and I do isometrics. But that's my problem is that I'm too lazy to really go anywhere to work out. I want the freaking shit right here where I can just go do my routine and then be done with it.
So
Outdoors scare me too.
So for the grunts in the army, to make them all ripped and jacked, do they put them in the weight room, or are there plenty of things like pushing the ground?
Yeah, I mean, oh my God, you mean push-ups or sit-ups I had to fucking do? Come on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't need all that.
We had to run miles. I mean,
Steve.
I was in good shape. I was in really good
Steve,
shape.
you want to get fit together, Steve? We can do this.
I liked it. Well,
we're both gonna look like Boris Kojo.
I just want to drop. I lost 3 pounds because my scale was messed up. But I mean, I still felt like I did. I'm not even fronting. I did. I moved my scale from the bathroom, and we put it on a shelf up here. So every time I had to use it, I have to put it on the ground. And then I realized that every time you put it on the ground again, you have to recalibrate it. And it was like 3.3 something or 3.4 pounds off, which is about 1.5 kilograms. And so I was like, I weighed myself, and every time I did, I was like 3 pounds higher or so than I expected. I'm like, what the hell am I putting on this weight? This is bullshit. And then I calibrated and I dropped 3 point something pounds. But I still count my calories. But I'm just flat right now. I can't lose or gain. I've been really flat.
I'll do it with you, Mikey, if you want.
Getting ripped, getting jacked.
I'll get jacked with you.
2021.
Like I said, if we were
What's the plan?
Look, if we were in the same room, we're all jacking together. I'm cool with that.
Yikes! I'm out.
Yeah, you're all jacking it together.
Yeah, I mean, like weightlifting. Come on, people.
Nah, man.
Yeah, you guys using shake weights?
Nah, I'm good. I'm a quarantine from home. Thank you very much.
I need to go to the
Hold on.
gym.
Check weights.
Bonnie's like, she probably bought one.
Mikey, send me what the weight would be, and if I have the capability and the equipment, I'll do it.
The equipment is the ground and gravity. That's all you need.
Okay, perfect. I'm down then.
No, I mean, I still do isometrics
routine.
a lot. I do a lot of isometrics, which is, basically resistance
Saber.
What?
I found this like 30-minute program online, and I just started doing that every day, and it's like exhausting.
What,
Like,
isometrics?
and stuff and all that, and mountain climbing and stuff, and it's like
the mountain climbing and the running is good for you because you want to have anaerobic. You want to do aerobic exercises where you get oxygenated, and you want your blood pumping.
You want your heart rate to go up.
Yeah,
like
because I don't do a lot of aerobic exercise. I do a lot of anaerobics, which is good for toning.
The most I do is really walking. So.
Yeah, but because of the pandemic, I don't walk as much as I used to. I used to walk, a mile, 2 miles a day. You want to go walking together, Lania? We can go walking together. We'll call each other and just walk.
Yeah, that would be great.
I still walk, but whenever people come close to me, I keep my distance as far away as possible. Like,
if Monia and I were walking together, she would definitely keep her distance from me. That's kind of a given.
But,
we never know.
Shit, no, you've been carrying me after like the first mile. I'm like, just fireman.
Just drag him by an ankle. Just grab one ankle and drag.
Would you guys like to see Monia fireman carry me? That'd be awesome.
She probably could right now. If she did it right, she can do it.
She's plays sports. Yeah. She's in good shape.
I used to play soccer. I still play a little bit of soccer. So
man, I will nutmeg you in about 10 seconds.
So Rez wants to know, Chesh, are we going to stream the DD game and who's in it?
So we're probably going to stream 2 different games with 2 different DMs, and we're going to alternate who's DMing, so that way people don't get burned out from just one thing or one group of people. So what the DM will probably end up doing, again, we're still working out the kinks. Well, the DM will have like 4 sessions to do like a mini arc and then a mini arc, so they have like decent leave off times, and then swap DMs, do a mini arc, swap DMs, do a mini arc. I think that's how we're going to end up doing it by the sounds of things. We're still working on the world building, so once the world building is done, that will probably put some kind of limitations on the character creation. So once the world building is done, then we'll start reaching out, and apparently Mikey called dibs, so Mikey will be in it.
What are you doing?
The tiefling cleric.
Landon, what are you doing? Are you
cleric of who?
I'm cooking.
Oh.
What you cooking, Betty?
Ooh, what you got there?
Oh, it's pepper. He's grinding pepper. Okay.
A grinding pepper. I have some apple sage vegetarian sausages that I'm going to cook, and I'm preparing the oil with. I put in a bit of cilantro, bit of basil, bit of thyme, balsamic vinegar. I'm heating it up, and then I'm going to fry the sausages, and then try something with a bit of eggs and some other yummies.
So real quick,
Steve, he's heating it up so he can activate all them spices.
Absolutely.
Flavonoids. Got to get this flavonoids activated.
Got to get them.
I don't know why I'm subscribed to this person. I really don't. But I guess we have some heavy competition with Nephilim Free, who's doing a live chat right now. Do you know how many people are watching him? Mikey, how many watchers do you think he has? I have no idea why I subscribed him, but whatever. I just pulled it up.
You're probably both of them.
I'm not even watching it. I'm actually went to his page, so I'm not even actually watching it. You can go to his main page and see how many people are watching. I'll give you a hand. It's single digits.
Well, Steve.
Yo, don't make fun of us in single digits, asshole.
So
I'm not talking about your IQ, Mikey.
I'm using that a friend of mine recommended.
Apple sage smoked. Oh, yummy. Yeah, 4 people watching. Go Nephilim. I don't understand how he's even still around, to be honest with you.
He has way more subs than I do, so fucking good for him.
Yeah, but there are mostly people that just disagree with him.
Mikey's being Mikey, and I'm yelling over everybody. Here's the thing. If people want to make any channel, I wish you nothing but success. Whether you're right or wrong, that I can debate. But if anybody gets a channel on YouTube, this dude's got 8K subscribers. You know how many subscribers my podcast has? Go ahead and guess. Let's go around the panel and guess that.
42.
80,000.
I have very little subscribers, so
600.
Keep going. All right, go around. We're almost around.
Tree fitty.
Tree.
350.
69.
That's sexual, and you should stop yourself.
Did you ask for consent?
I just mentioned a
At
number.
69, I think it's kind of obvious what's going on.
So I know. So seriously, I would guess you have 1,800.
We have 25 subs.
I said I was closest. I win.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing. First of all, Mikey, I'm gonna brag here. If it wasn't for me, Nephilim wouldn't have a channel because I'm the one that showed him how to stream, like legit showed him how to stream.
Damn you, Steve.
Yeah, I know. I mean, he had a stream. He had a channel long before me, but he couldn't. Once YouTube started changing shit over, he couldn't figure it out, and he was offline for like a year or two. And I actually showed him how to start streaming again. So he got a lot of those subs afterwards. But I don't know. I mean, there's so many people that are so worried about their numbers, which is ridiculous. It's like I don't get it why having subs is so goddamn important if they're dead subs. I have 17,000 subs. Most of them don't even watch, so it doesn't do me a goddamn good. No offense.
Shut up, Steve. God,
Worry about the
podcast.
It ain't no fucking privilege.
People fucking watching right now.
These are subs from 70 years ago. They're not even around.
With 4 and 5 fucking people watching at a show. So you shut up.
Look, motherfucker. We have 60 people watching. Every one of them right now. Listen to me. Every one of them can go sub to you right now. Put your goddamn link in the fucking live chat and they go sub to you right now. We'll double your sub count.
Everybody watching, please go subscribe to Mike's channel.
Yes.
That's all.
I'll show for you.
As a bonus, I'm going to be on the Ben podcast on July 23rd. So if you subscribe, you'll be notified. You click the bell. You'll be notified. Yeah, the Ben podcast.
All right. Well, Mikey,
Happy birthday to you.
Put your link in there. You're mod, right?
No.
Oh, do you want? Oh, well.
I'm nothing. I'm no one.
You're not good enough to be a
Mike,
mod.
I'm no one. I have less subscribers than you, bro.
I'm putting it in here right now. 1 sec. I just got it from you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, sir. I got it. Look.
25. Now you're 26. I just subbed to you, bitch.
Ooh, 26, motherfucker.
It's a start. There you go. That's the link. So there you go.
Y'all didn't think we could make
I
it
just
to
put the link in there.
26,
60 people watching. Half of them actually ever do anything. The other half don't even chat in live chat. They just listen. So go sub to Mikey. Let's see if we can get him at least like.
Don't complain about lurkers, Steve.
Y'all never thought I would make
it.
Lurkers are my haters, Chesh.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
No.
Y'all never thought I would make it to 26, did you?
Yeah. If you get to 100, they give you like a paper certificate.
They don't give you shit. It's paper, but they don't give you shit.
Mud.
Well, Steve, I just have to ask, why are you subscribed to Nephilim?
I leftovers.
He's a dead sub that he's bitching about.
Let me ask you this, Steve. Did you subscribe to the bin yet? Mikey's son, did you subscribe to it?
I did not even know.
Get the fuck out then. No, just go.
Hey, we got 3. We got 3.
In my defense, I had no idea it existed.
Well, you know now. You know now.
It's good. I have promoted the Ben podcast on 2 other people's podcasts, and so I'll promote it on this one as well.
There you go. Stone Butt. Did you go do it?
I'm doing it right now.
Give me a link.
You know what? I'll put it in the internal here. 1 sec. There you go. That's the link.
Yeah.
I don't complain often.
You need to.
But I'm complaining. Let me get some squeaky. Squeaky
wrong
wheel
with
gets
that.
oil, goddamn it. I'm squeaking on Chess's birthday. I know y'all are here to see Chess, but goddamn it.
Oh, you're up to 33 now, dude. Damn.
Squeak, squeak,
Hey,
34. Squeak, squeak.
Illuminati confirmed. No, 33. Illuminati. Russian vids. You're right. God damn it.
Yo, if he wants to come on
That
my
guy's
channel, I will
still
curse his ass
around.
the fuck out in front of all.
Oh, please! If you have on Russian vids, please bring me on.
That would be epic. Seriously, no, I would
Oh,
totally
you're
watch
at 35 now. You're at 35. Wow.
Please from me.
that. I would totally
I
watch that.
appreciate y'all. Make it happen. Make it happen. Come on, y'all.
See, there you go.
That's all I'm asking.
So wait a minute.
Chess still needs to
I'm gonna make a
talk to Brett
prediction.
King.
I'm gonna make a prediction. Come tomorrow. Steve ordered his minions to go to her channel.
Her?
No, I don't know what's going to follow from that. Just Steve ordered minions to go to her channel, probably to harass you. Yeah, probably to harass you.
Yo, bring the ruckus. We're not about that shit. There's 5 people from 5 different time zones. Bring that shit.
Button over on Mikey's channel.
Yeah, asking people to subscribe is clearly harassment.
Yo, suck my fucking dick, bro. I need subs. Fuck out of here.
You're harassing me with subscribers.
Fuck out of here. I need fucking subs.
Subscribed.
And everybody needs to know where to find me now because I'm disconnected from my previous links, which I never speak about. So if you want to see me and my awesome European and Californian friends,
I will do you one better. I'm gonna do you a fucking solid.
Do me the solid, bro.
I'm gonna do. You got a stiffy. I'm gonna give you. One sec.
Give me the solids. The solids. The souls. Yo, we're at 37. I love y'all. Who else ain't did it yet? Come on. What's up?
What do you start off with?
25. So
what's
12 in 2 minutes.
Remember, Sammy Jenkins says, Mikey, you better make some good content now.
Right?
Bro, we're on episode 24, but no one ever watches. Come on in. The water's fine.
Mike,
I've been in your lives a couple of times.
And did you see anybody else with you?
Yeah, like one other person.
No.
The show is on it. Good folk there, so I think you should subscribe and check them out. But
Landon said do it. So now what? What's your response now?
Click the bell so you get notified.
Are you guys defying Landon? Are you defying Landon? Kurt Knoll? Here's a fun fact for everybody who doesn't know something about Landon. In show prep for Landon coming on, I looked up the number that he had the world record on for the largest prime number. Guess how many digits it was?
Too many.
It's 10 to the 25th power, 10 to the 26th power.
No, don't talk to me in scientific notation. I'm not a TI.
10 to the negative 11th power.
No, it was the Mercer primes that he had was 10 to the 25th and 20th. What? No, I'm sorry. It was the 25th and 26th Mercer, but I don't remember the.
So can you say that in standard notation?
I don't know, but Landon, what was it? You had the 25th and 26th.
Notation doesn't exist.
Landon, Landon, you hush.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to say Mikey's asking a question. So
pretty goddamn high number. So how many
digits do you think that prime number he found was?
You want it in grams numbers? I don't know. It's pretty goddamn high.
In normal, regular numbers. Stop saying 10 to the. I don't want scientific notation.
He wants decimal
10
digits.
to the 15th power.
You need to fix the out thing. You've got Manya as me right now. Huh?
Oh.
He wants to know how many decimal digits.
She has the hot chair for a second.
How many decimal digits was that number?
And by the way, there's several of them, so you got to pick.
The first one.
Oh, the first one. Okay.
So it was
that one. I have.
It was 2 raised to the 82,586,933 minus 1 because it's a Mercer.
I will fight you. Let's fight. Let's fight in a
10 to the 28 million, bitch.
No, if 12, so 12 is a 2-digit number. 100 is a 3-digit number. I would like an answer in a blank digit number for Landon's number.
Landon's number. That's what we're gonna call it. Landon's number.
Yes, it's Landon's number. I agree.
You guys figure it out. I'm trying to do something real quick. For
Are there any guesses? I'm going to say it in 5 seconds.
Leading zeros don't count.
65,087.
That's a lot of number.
That's a big ass fucking number.
Yeah, that was the one on the part of it was called the Omdal 6 number, but that's that's now considered mildly big. That's
65,000 digits. 65,087 digits was that number.
How far is it?
It was a non-Merson, but it was not nowadays. Of course, that's considered warm up act for stuff now. But we paid the way and
right.
Things have improved.
So I just put a shout out on Twitter. Shout out of the month because I don't do it very often. Let's get Weed Advance podcast to 100 because he's cool. Can we get him to 100 subs? Can we? Troll Army Unite for good.
I mean, we could probably at least double his number tonight.
I have
Well, we'll see.
Let me go on Twitter and retweet your.
People think I control massive armies. Let's see if I can get him to 100, because I'm probably not, because I don't have any control. I have nothing.
I have a
nothing
question.
I really don't.
If this is supposed to be my birthday stream, if he breaks it, is that going to be you or me that's getting him that number?
We'll share.
It's you, Chesh.
We'll share.
So Chesh, just a little bit of how the sausage is made. Chesh made the scrolling avatars of me and my pod mates. I need you to do another one. We have another member. Which is why I've been trying to get a hold of you, but then your DM's Vesuvius. So I need you to make one of all of us.
Got it.
Because Brenna is not happy with the boys having representation in her.
Yo, fair. Send me a picture and I'll get it done.
And we've been making a joke about Wayne, who is in the UK, who is 6'3", but somehow through Chesh's drawings ended up being the shortest. We've been calling him a dwarf for this many months.
Well, you gotta knock him down to size.
All right, Sweet Heathen has to go to bed, so she's not gonna be able to make it. We had plans tonight that I was actually gonna end this because I was gonna, hang out with her. No offense to you guys. But
we can do that.
But she's tired, so
yeah, bring her in. We'd love to hang out with her. You guys can hang out alone with us.
I don't mind that. But then it's not really hanging out alone with her. It's hanging out with you all with her.
You know what we should do one of these days is I set up my tablet so that way while we're talking I can draw and we can have that going and just have you guys shouting at me.
Oh, that's kind of like doing like a telltale thing, because he does that. He draws when he...
No. I mean like you're by shouting at me. I mean you're telling me what to draw.
Yeah. That's cool.
That's not what Telltale does.
Well, that's not what he does. He draws or talks. Although that would be cool if you do that. That would be really cool.
He doesn't draw and talk at the same time. He draws and then he talks. We're at 3 hours apparently.
Yeah, we gotta end this. I'm dying. It's hot and I'm hungry. So, Mikey, we'll keep track of this to see what you get. We got you up to 43 so far, so we already doubled you almost.
Almost.
Like I said, I got no pull, dude. I got no juice. Nobody listens to me. They don't. Even for the forces of good. Landon retweeted it, or he posted something to shout you out. But other than that, nobody fucking.
And I retweeted Neil deGrasse Tyson coming in, and he's gonna be a sub. He's gonna be a patron
one of these days. I was supposed to have a conversation with Neil deGrasse Tyson, but that fell through.
I feel like that's my real dad.
You know what? You're definitely on the intellectual level of him. I can see it.
I have a question. Yeah. I'm craving sushi right now, and I've had half a glass of. This is 13% alcohol. Am I okay to drive?
No.
Nope. I would not recommend it.
Liquid or have it delivered.
Yeah, I'm trying, but for some reason Uber Eats is not giving me options for sushi, and I'm like, why the fuck are you not giving me options for sushi when I want sushi?
Call your sushi place and see if they deliver.
Hey Manya, do you need sushi right now, or do you want sushi right now?
Icarus makes a good point. He says it's 4 a.m. Your minions aren't awake yet. I keep forgetting my minions are like different demographics in the world, so my minions are probably sleeping right now. But you know what? I didn't say they could sleep. They didn't ask me. They didn't say, Steve, we're going to go bed now. No, they didn't say this.
They did not get permission. That's fucked up.
I
have control on your minions.
I got to tell you, I love my subs. I love my Patreons. I love my members. My minions.
All those dead ones.
Yeah, my minions
guys
suck. Okay, straight up. My minions are shit.
My minions are dead.
Yeah, you know what?
To be fair, most minions do suck.
Online or not? Like,
no, there's like 3 of them that are good, aren't they? Like a handful?
I don't know how many.
Can I just get one good minion?
So I want to show my friend of mine that took an image of the comet.
Did I paint it?
See 2020 F3 Neowise.
Yeah, and you can see the two.
Oh yeah, you can see with binoculars like that. That's legit what it looks like. Yeah. I've seen it. Yep.
Hey, Landon, yes. Should I paint it?
Please.
Send me the picture.
Wifey, I know you're listening. Can you bring in my binoculars from the other room, please?
Like put it on Twitter and at me or something.
Okay.
Well, Anya, here's a question. Do you feel buzzed at the moment from that bit of wine you sipped?
Ah.
Yeah, she's drunk.
Oh, not
So, Landon, I want to officially say that I popped a cherry for myself yesterday. I saw Saturn.
You saw the rings?
Yay!
It was so oblique.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
I was like, that can't be.
What'd you see it through?
I got some astronomy binoculars.
Okay.
What was that? What were they? They're 8 by 50.
No,
8 by 80.
Yeah, you can
20
see.
by
You
80.
can see the rings.
20 by 80. 20 by 80 is decent.
Yeah, you can see the rings of Saturn pretty easily. I mean, it's pretty small.
And I saw the Galilean moons.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say right now, Saturn and Jupiter are pretty close to each other.
Excellent.
So if you can find Saturn, you can find Jupiter. It's like right next to it
was
almost.
incredible.
So I've seen Io, Castillo, Europa, and Ganymede. Yep.
It was so cool.
Well, no, seriously, congratulations.
I was like, oh, Landon would be proud.
Yeah,
No,
isn't it pretty cool to
I'm
realize
serious.
this shit really is real? I mean, you can actually see it.
Yeah, I saw the rings of Saturn, and I saw like the ting 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 off to the right of Jupiter of its moons.
Yeah, you can see all four.
Now I gotta like look every day and like chart the progress.
Now, believe it or not,
So,
now,
Mikey,
Landon's
the next thing. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
I was just saying, Landon, correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I understand, if the sun wasn't there, you could actually see the Galilean moons with the naked eye a little bit. Yeah, so I mean they're kind of washed out, but yeah, through a good pair of binoculars, you can easily see the four of them.
The albedo off of them was crazy because they looked like stars. They looked like stars because they were so like ping 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 ping.
So Mikey, here's another thing to do is to check them out at the beginning of the evening, and then wait a couple hours and look at them again, and you'll see them move.
They move from night to night. They move. Galileo tracked them from night to night. Yeah,
fast enough you can see over a couple hours them changing positions.
I can't wait. I am going online tonight to get a new tripod because I am fucking hooked.
You also want to see something really cool in the winter sky. Look at Orion and find the Great Nebula in Orion.
I'm ready.
And basically just watch for a while, and you'll actually see satellites pass through that corridor.
That's my jam right there.
It looks like aliens. You're like, are these UFOs? You know, but they're satellites.
Orion has always been. Thank you, Men in Black. Thank you, Will Smith.
Orion is amazing. If you can see trapezium in Orion, you found God. It's just gorgeous.
It's almost as good as Eta Carina on the southern hemisphere.
Well, I wouldn't know because I live in America, but whatever.
Yeah, but yeah. So, Mikey, another thing you can do now that you see if you watch the Galilean moons move around, is then you can watch one of the moons being eclipsed by Jupiter. They'll tell you when it'll pass in Jupiter's shadow. You see, go blink out, blink in.
Yeah, that's all. Well, that's when there's a cult.
Occultation.
Yeah, occultation.
Occultation.
So, yeah.
Yep.
I will be looking up for the rest of my life.
Well, let's kind of leave it that.
This is Mikey's new addiction.
Familiar with Astronomy Live?
That's a good channel.
I am already subbed to them, but I need to see it for myself.
Yeah, he was to get those photons going directly in his retina.
I can introduce you, and he can help you with your setup.
Have you seen Andromeda yet?
Introduce myself to himself.
Have you seen Andromeda?
Okay, well, fine. You do it by yourself. Whatever.
Mikey, have you seen?
Josh, you didn't listen. I said introduce himself to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Mikey,
introduce him to me. Yes, I'm agreeing.
Have you seen Andromeda yet?
No, I gotta go south.
The TV show or the
look at Andromeda and look at the double cluster, which is always circumpolar for me. That's pretty easy to find. If you can find Cassiopeia, you can find the double cluster. It's really, they're about 6 magnitude, very, very easily visible in binoculars.
I mean, after you and Landon pretty much burst my bubble on Beetlejuice.
We took your cherry on Beetlejuice. Yeah,
I really wish that it would blow up, but
we wrecked you on that. So
yeah, in about maybe 100,000 years,
give or take.
No, y'all didn't have to say that. Y'all could have let me live, let me breathe.
I'm looking for sushi here, and they're not delivering sushi. Like what?
You ain't got no fun.
You can go for a walk with Steve.
No sushi.
Yeah, come to America. I'll take you out to sushi.
It's basically raw food.
I don't care. I want sushi.
I want sushi
I want
too.
chicken and rice, something like that. I want rice. I'm. What the?
Rez.
Why would you want sushi if you want rice?
Well, what do you think they put it on?
Sushi has rice in it.
Yeah.
So you don't think a Chinese restaurant would give you more or less rice than a sushi restaurant? It's a fucking bowl of rice.
All right, Super Chat, Rez, $5 Australian. If anyone plays Elite Dangerous, do yourself a favor and get the permit to the Soul System and do a tour. You won't regret it.
I actually did it on the Top Hats Off channel, which is Dapper Dino's alt channel. Wasn't playing, but I was sitting watching him go through the solar system. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Like, what the?
So hopefully, Chesh, you can get the comment image. I uploaded it too.
Like, can't
do you, Landon? Do you have the Universal?
Oh, that's why. What the hell? Now I know why. Okay,
Landon, do you have Universal Simulator, or what's it called? The Universal Sandbox? Universe Sandbox?
I have not dabbled with that.
Okay.
I've done.
I haven't either. I kind of want to, but
I've done my own visualization, but I understand it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I just downloaded Warframe. Does that count?
I just downloaded
That's good.
What's it called? The Killing Floor 2.
If Landon gets Sandbox, he's going to create a singularity in the actual Earth.
That'd be nice. So the nice thing about that particular photo, is that it's not overexposed. A lot of people, when they take pictures of comets, they just blow it out to have the big giant tail, and you see no detail. This you can see detail down in the chroma, and you can see the there's two tails, right? There's the one that's dust and the one that's the ions.
I don't know if I'd be able to tell which one was which from this picture. Like which one was dust and which one was ions.
Oh, I have no idea which one's which. One's an ion tail, one's a dust tail, but I don't know which one's which.
I think where it is, I believe that the dust tail is going straight back, and the ion tail is curving off to the side. So I think that the one on that image, the one that's upper, is the dust tail.
Gotcha. All right, so I'm gonna try and recreate this photo. So look out for that soon. That will be on my Patreon, and I'll probably post it on Twitter too.
All right, so everybody live chat, please tell Cheshire happy birthday. So I'm going to do it right now. Birthday, Chesh.
Happy birthday.
By the way, add her so she can see it.
Happy birthday, Chesh. Happy birthday to.
Well, anyways, guys, I am dying here. It's so damn hot. Manya, I hope you get your sushi and some rice. Mikey, I hope you get your 100 subs. My Unfinished Journey, I hope you can figure out how to unmute your mic next time again, my friend. He says poor guy's been down there the entire time. Can't figure out how to unmute. I'm sorry. Stone Butt, I don't know what the hell to wish you for you, but whatever it is, it's good.
I hope your butt remains stoning.
Yep. And Steve, always a pleasure. Hope you learn how to speak Arabic properly.
And by the way, so Stephen, I did I translate the first word correctly as Stephen?
Yes. Okay. The fet right there, that's more, I guess it's more Urduic against language, because there's no fe, there's no V in Arabic in any sort of the grammar of any dialect.
I was trying to figure out what it might be, and so I was trying to sound it out, and it sounds sort of Stefan or like that. Stephen.
Well, my Arabic instructor is a Palestinian from Gaza, so he taught me that, and also my coworker who's Pakistani as well. So
okay. So I by the way, I did that by sounding it out, so I at least say okay.
All right, guys, I'm going to end it. I'm probably not going to be available tomorrow, but I think we're going to do Caffeine Corner on Sunday, Monday, even though this kind of was, but I think we're still going to be doing something on Monday. Cheshire, you got anything that you're going to be doing besides your art stuff? You got any half times or full times?
Time of the month. We have that time of the month on Tuesday, and you'll probably see a couple of streams from me coming up this week. Even though we've been kind of quiet the past little while, I've been building up stuff in the background, so I have like a good slew of things ready to go for a couple of streams.
Goddamn time.
That build up though.
Yeah, I was the one falsely struck that couldn't stream. You could have streamed all this time and you didn't.
The D&D stream is going to be it's not going to be delayed, but it's going to be a little while before that's ready because we're still finishing off the world building. So we'll let you know as we are working on it and as we get closer to that. But also, I've got like a couple of things, like a couple more goblin reads and a couple of more discussions that I'm ready to go on. So we'll have some of that on my channel over there if you want to go sub and do that. And I'm about to dump a bunch of art. So if anybody's interested in that, Patreon.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching this. Thanks for all your support. Thanks for all the super chats. Thanks for all the love.
Thank you for all the happy birthday.
We appreciate it, guys. Mwah. We love you all. Good night. I already had you muted.